Okay.
Nobody make a sound.
Nobody make a sound. Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of the campaign here at TPK Games.
Nobody make a sound.
Nobody make a sound. Hey, everybody. I am just a lowly player, but I want to kick it over to our DM, Rich Rfilly, Filiberto. Take it away, Rich.
Man, I got a whole title now. It's unbelievable. Episode 2 of the campaign. Woo!
Yay. Don't die, guys.
Yeah.
That would be great. It is TPK Games. Like, we just tease you a little bit, and then we're like, see ya, we're all dead.
Yeah, totally.
That's the joke. The campaign only ever lasts 2 episodes. We introduce the characters, and then comes the TPK, right?
That's so great.
Anyway, around our circle of illustrious players, let's start with Alan Ward, Shal GreyThorne. How are you doing this week, Alan?
Oh, I'm doing all right. Haven't been doing much. Put out a couple of PUBG streams, but that's about it.
Yeah, go check him out at Captain Emo on Twitch TV.
How's it going? Have you come in first yet?
Oh yeah. Well, chicken. You have to feed the family, so you got to get at least one chicken dinner every 6 months. You got to. That's like the rotation.
Nice.
Excellent. How about? Let's run through the A's. Alex, Donsky, how are you doing this week,
Hey,
friend?
What's up? Doing great. I'm still kind of prepping the cooking show I have coming out in the works. I've been cooking tons and tons of food, trying to find some unique game and things I can get. Other than that, just super excited, ready to kick some ass today.
Excellent.
Do you have
Tonight.
a substitute for like goblin meat? Is that a thing?
Oh yeah. It's out there, man. It's out there.
Oh wow! I can't believe we're going to eat sentient creatures.
Yeah,
on the
we're not.
show.
Yeah. Ooh. I don't
know if that's PC.
I think, I keep asking, but every time you keep it, no, that's sentient. So, we'll just keep it back and forth.
We'll play it by ear. We'll figure out some ground rules as we go. Taryn Collins, how are you this week?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm excited.
Not a whole lot of updates on my side. We've been recording The Last Refuge still. We have a new episode that comes out tomorrow, which is a big reveal episode, I think. So that's exciting. Cool. And then I also am ready to kick some ass and to torture Tone a little bit. I'm ready for that.
Tone torture.
Par for the course. Yeah, it seems like at this point.
I would say I'm sorry, but highly appropriately, Mike Bloom, far from the least of us. How are you doing this week, Mike?
I'm doing well. It's getting to be that time of the year where I have fully immersed myself in the world of reality television, so I'm happy to take a brief respite from that and dip my toes into the fantasy pools and splash around a bit.
Yep, it doesn't get much further from reality than fighting in the blood sport arena of the dragon gods on another plane, so I'll try.
Come on, we know this shit happens. This is a historical event in the history of the world.
So is this technically like a historical reenactment then, instead of actually Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah, a historical reenactment.
Now I'm going to have to run a real tight ship. Excellent. And John Reed, how are you doing this week, John?
Good. Same as Mike, probably. Like, stressed out about some of the reality TV stuff coming up, and very happy to just be kicking back on a Tuesday and playing Dungeons and Dragons with my friends and not having to worry about any of that bull going on. Yes.
Excellent. Cool. I am super excited myself. And so I guess with that, unless anybody else has anything major to discuss before we dive in.
Let's do it.
No? Okay. Then we return once again to Abrea. As we left off last week, we had met our 5 characters as all of them came separately into the city of Skaden, an ancient ruin buried deep within the dark forests of the Emerald Dynasty in Abrea. Part of the kingdom of Chimerion, the green dragon called the Corruptor, god of lies and illusion and deception. And so this is the beginning of... Yeah, go Chimerion! It's got
I'm glad
big,
Chimerion has a hype
club.
person at this point.
Yeah, for real. It's pretty great. And so Chimerion's Gambit is held annually every year in this ruined corpse, this husk of what used to be the great city Skaden. And our 5 players are competitors in this game this year. And so they we're introduced to Skaden and we're introduced to their fellow players in the games. And they took their time last episode to meet these other competitors and broker deals and make alliances, of which tonight we will see which hold true. So as we left, you guys had spent the day in this kind of training area, meeting the other competitors. Weapons and equipment were provided to you. Each of you received a small pack of provisions, some blankets, some torches, no food or water. There's a water skin, though not full, and a few healing potions, because what fun would a blood sport game be if everyone dies right at the beginning? We need to keep you alive for a little while, don't you? And so after the day in this training arena you had spent in this place, you gathered your equipment, you spoke to each other, to the other players, and you were rounded up by the guards at the end of the day and brought separately, each to your own quarters. You prisoners were not returned to a dungeon. Each of you was given your own small room, a cloister almost, to spend the evening. Not large and not lavish, to be sure. Nothing like the accommodations of one Thinnea Hallowwhisper, who sits on a bed of down with luxurious comforters and her choice of varieties of wine and foods around her in her more
Which
lavish
I just pack
part.
into my bag of holding, all of it. I also want
This
to.
seems very, very unfair.
Are you on my team or not?
I was gonna say, just say, does Tone get a little bit of like something on the side, considering that he is in indentured servitude at this point?
When you're
Each
good.
Each of you other four, no.
Right,
Tone
okay.
is treated the same as the other prisoners, sadly. We must not let appearances slip, Master
That's
Tone.
true.
And as such, each of you is brought bread and cheese and a watered-down mug of ale at the end of the day and told to relish it, for it will be the last thing Chimerion gives you in this world, lest you come out alive. And so, as we spend this evening alone, is there anything particular anyone wants to do in the solitude of your final evening?
I was gonna say, I look into Poe. I think he wants to probably say some stuff.
Yeah, I got some things that I need to do. Tonight, I am going to cast my last 3rd level spell and send a message to Ryeth.
Okay.
Is that
excellent.
okay?
It absolutely is.
Okay.
You were able to gather up components in the training grounds where you were today, as did Ryeth. And so you take out a short piece of fine copper wire, wrapping it around your fingers as you move your hands in these patterned gestures and whisper a prayer to your gods.
So essentially,
you could send
create
25
like a
words.
telephone out of wire and like, hey.
Sure. Yeah, sure. It's like a mic. You have 25 words, friend. Use them well.
25 words. Okay.
It's like a tweet.
Yeah. So I say, Ryeth. That's one. I hope we are friends. Guide us toward the center. And then I say, they may enslave us if we reach. Follow my audible. And then I'll send that message.
And so, Ryeth, as you sit alone in this simple stone room with a wooden cot in the corner and straw loosely piled atop it with a rough wool blanket, the words of this strange fellow who you met today, the man, or turtle, should we say, who called himself Poe, you hear his voice echoing in your mind as this message reaches you.
Okay, and I get 25 words to send back. And I
you
know
realize instinctively, yes.
Right. And I also instinctively know that it is him as well. So I'm going to say, sounds good. Got some new information. Plans may be changing. I'll follow your audible. That's it.
Awesome.
I can't wait to hear what these audibles are. I'm so excited. Okay, and so the rest of you, you simply spend the night like gathering your strength and reflecting on this experience as you prepare for the next day.
Yes, I would also like to pray before I go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh, you already said it, to roll a 100-sided die. So I'm going to pray to my gods and say, I don't know which one of you can guide me in my pursuit tomorrow. Deimos, Phobos, please give me your blessing for the day ahead. And I pray to them and fall asleep. So it's above 50, so Phobos is guiding me tomorrow. So as I fall asleep, blue mystical energy surrounds me, and I exhale, and you can see like the anxiousness kind of melt away, and like my muscles become calm and serene and tranquil as the moon god, blesses me.
And so as the camera like cuts from Poe whispering his soft prayers in this cloistered room somewhere in the city of Skaden, the camera like kind of cuts away and fades out from this room, and we see the dim moonlight masked by the thick clouds hanging in the sky over the ruins of Skaden. And then I think it's almost like the time lapse of like we see the stars kind of like moving through the night, and the beginning rays of orange and gold in the morning as the sun rises over Skaden on this, the morning of your release into Chimerion's Gambit. And so each of you awakens individually, and you make your preparations. You can dress and wash, and there's a knock rapidly at each of your doors, and waiting outside. As you like glance out into the hall, you see arrayed many guards. Some hobgoblins, tall, lean, lanky, thin, with warty faces and complexions that range from yellow to green to gray, and every color you could imagine in between. Rotting teeth and jagged fangs, twisted noses, none with quite such a beak as our friend Zoltur from last week, but interspersed amongst these hobgoblins are the bugbears, bigger, brutish, hulking, furry, hairy, smelly, disgusting. And so you can see these many guards arrayed in the hall, and as each knock comes upon your door, you're told by one of these hobgoblin servants of Chimerion that's come to receive you, make ready, it's time. Prepare yourselves. And so all of you are kind of led out one by one into the hall. And as you look up and down this hall between the heads of the lanky hobgoblins and the shaggy bugbears, you see the others who you met yesterday, the Minotaur and the dwarf, and of course the turtles, the noblewoman, the elf with his new purple robes, much finer than those he walked in with, and the wild-eyed storm sorcerer in his sandals. And all of you are kind of led in this procession. No one is chained this time. Nice. Poe giving his winks as we go. No one is chained or bound as you're led back down through the halls, which now you've moved through a few times, and you move through the training hall where we found ourselves yesterday, and you see many of your competitors gazing at you, their eyes lingering, assessing your equipment, assessing what didn't they learn about you in the few hours you had together yesterday. And as you head out the back of this training place where you all met, we see this tall, ominous wall of stone towering up above us, and it literally dwarfs all the other buildings behind. You can see that it's kind of grayish in its nature, but it's covered in almost a thick green sort of moss and lichens attached to it all over the place. And as we're walking towards it, shadows, you realize, are like dancing over you from the sky, and a quick glance upward reveals dozens and dozens of these kind of stone daises almost floating through the air. And you can see on each of them they glimmer with like light of green and red, and as you look closer you see runes adorned upon them, the runes that bind the magic that allow these things to float. And gazing down from these daises floating through the sky above you, you see dwarves and orcs, you see elves and dragonborn, you see the nobility and the spectators of the Emerald Dynasty and beyond who've come to watch these games through the magical sensors and the scrying spells and the enchantments placed on the very competitors. And now one of these daises begins lowering, and these guards around you, this kind of mass of attendance that's herding you towards this enormously tall door, stops you as this one dais begins to lower. And we see again, leaning over the edge, our friend Vergen. And beside him are a few notable figures. There's a Goliath with rippling, powerful muscles, and a noblewoman in white, a white like suit and suit coat, almost differently dressed than Thinnea, but of the same kind of nobility. And an elven man standing there as well. But Vergen dominates the scene as he leans over the edge of this dais, and it lowers itself to just about 10 feet, floating just above the heads of all of you. And Vergen stands up and clasps his hands together like, well, my dear competitors, welcome. I am delighted that all of you have endured to this moment of triumph and fear for all of you. For once you walk through this doorway, the gambit is upon you, and your name will be remembered in history as a victor or a victim. Look upon your spectators, and he like gestures outwards at all these daises and these others. He says, the whole of the kingdom, the whole of the dynasty has come to see your magnificent day. Now I could say that I wish you well, but I do not. I wish merely a good show for us all. So be prepared. The place that you enter is filled with danger. There are traps and fiends awaiting you, monsters brought from the far reaches of the world, as well as the most dangerous thing of all, the associates who stand around you. And he gestures down at the group of you all kind of standing there. And he says, and so with that, brave players in this game, I bid you adieu. And like gestures towards the door, and kind of the wall of guards around you sort of part and gesture you towards this overly large doorway into this monolithic greenish gray wall that stands before you. And as you guys approach the door and begin to make your way in, realization dawns that this wall was not always stone. This is the exterior of a tree that's impossibly large, impossibly big. And the city of Skaden, clearly what was destroyed by Chimerion and is coming at once, lay inside this tree.
So when I see that, the elfin chick who was eyeing me the whole time during the trials, she's like close to us? Or Sarah?
Yeah, absolutely. So, she's with the group of you, right? She's up towards kind of the front, a nervousness about her, but you see her.
So I'm going to call out Sarah, and this is in Primordial, by the way. I'm going to be like, fire be thy spark, water be thy protection, wind be thy grace, lightning and thunder be thy salvation.
And she like turns and pauses. Her head like turns halfway, and she hasn't made eye contact yet, and then it rotates the rest of the way, and her eyes like catch yours, Ryeth. And she just like nods gently. And so does anyone else speak Primordial in this crew? Probably not, right? Yeah. So you guys hear Ryeth like calling out in this deep baritone rolling sounds, staccato and sharp, and you see the woman in the fine leathers with the wild white hair kind of turn and nod to him after he does, but what passed between them you all cannot know. And so the guards are quickly like, that's enough of that, each of you to the door. And you see an arraignment of like about 20 doors down this hallway on either side of you as you've entered this enormously kind of tall antechamber in this wall. And one of the hobgoblins steps out in front like, you'll each enter a room. From within, you'll be sent into the gambit. What happens next, you all decide. But don't give us no trouble now in this last minute. You step quiet in the room real nice and easy. And the rest is up to you lot. And like with that, almost in unison, we hear like, and all these like 20 doors open at once.
It's like the starting lines at the horse races.
Very much so, my friend.
Wow. Dudes, these doors, do we go through them? Hey, is this thing starting, guys?
And they just kind of like shove you from behind. You feel one of the bugbears like pushing you into the room, portal.
Don't need to get rough, man. And then I guess I walk through a door. Is that what's
Phobos is
happening?
a super chill god if that's what your spirit is today.
So each of you like walk into these doors and the door closes behind you, and you see as you glance around the rooms, runes, much like the ones on the dais floating outside, carved around on the floor, on the ceiling, on the interior of this stone door as it's pushed closed behind you. And almost in an instant, they begin to glimmer and glow. First green, and then we see cuts of yellow marking between them and blue. And the light begins to just like wash into this room until you're squinting against it, your eyes. And it begins to bend and move and roll in, and this kaleidoscope of color and energy just kind of washes over you. It feels almost like wind and water in your face for a moment, and then you're dizzied, and the colors like mix into a blackness. And your consciousness slips from the current. I'd like each of you one by one to roll a 4-sided die for me.
Spaghettios.
Who is this first? Tone Goodheart with the 3. Poe with the 3. Ryeth with the 3. Ryeth, roll over. 2. Okay. Thinnea, 1. And Shael, roll over. A 4. Okay, hold on 1 second here. Let me make this correct. Tone and Ryeth. Okay. Oh God, it's so hard for me to not mix up Edgar and Tone, or Edgar and Shell. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You tokens are like just so turtly. Okay, what did we get? Shell got a 4. Thinnea is 1 and Ryeth is 2. Okay, got it. Cool.
Ryeth is 3.
2.
You
Yeah,
re-rolled.
he rolled.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, just one moment while I tweak out my layers. Token layer, yup. Objects and tokens, fix this, get this guy out of here, move him over here. Okay, friends, with that, magic washes over you. Each of you is dizzied in darkness as it swamps your mind, and suddenly you feel a cool wind on your face, and your eyes open, and a breeze brushes against your cheeks, and there's a sound around you, a din of flapping and clawing, and your eyes like blink as you're beginning to like gain vision again. And around you, you realize there's like darkness and this overwhelming sound. And it's just like overbearing. You can't even take it. There's motion everywhere. There's darkness. And as you look around, you realize you're surrounded by perhaps 1 million crows. More crows than a person could count in a lifetime. Perhaps more than it would take 2 lifetimes to count. And they're just flying around all of you, taking up into the sky. They're blinding your vision to one another. They're deafening the sound around you. And as they begin to like elevate and lift up, you realize, you begin to like understand the circumstances you find yourselves in. Each of you is standing on a pillar 30 feet above a grassy ground below. As you look across, each one of you stands not alone, but with someone else on this pillar. Lady Thinnea, over here on the top left, you stand here with the half-orc, with the orc, Woon. Fortunate for you.
Very
You had a
fortunate for me.
meaningful conversation. Ryeth, Thunderbuck, you stand here on the second pillar, and next to you is the noble son of the fallen General Ducat, Alton. Did not speak meaningfully with him in the time that you spent together, but you recognize him as he stands there in his red cloak and his plate mail. Perhaps.
Me and him are going to duke it out.
Perhaps.
I'll pop that one.
Quite fortunately for us, on pillar number 3, Poe, you look across from you and see a face that perhaps you're pleased to see. It's Tone Goodheart. The two of you standing together on this pillar. And as you glance across, you see Ryeth next to the armored figure in his red cloak of Alton Ducat. And then here, finally, all the way to the right, Shael GreyThorne, old and weathered as you may be. You see somebody who you made quite dear friends with in the short period of time that you met these people, the woman Gita. It's hard and thought
I
very
made friends with
little of you.
everybody. I throwing the Minotaur in the pit. I think I made friends with everybody.
As you take in the rest of the scene around you, you're standing on these pillars 30 feet above the ground. There's a rickety wooden scaffold almost reaching between your pillar to another in the center, and you see provisions on it, bags, weapons, and chests containing who knows what. Crows alight on some of these pedestals in between you, and they sit watching you with magically enhanced eyes that will bring their sight back to the spectators in the city themselves. Green glowing crystals emit strange light over the entire scene, and these catwalks of stone descend from near the pillars where you are at a height of 30 feet, down a set of stairs, down more, until they get to the ground. But as you glance on the ground, there are massive, hulking boars circling, pawing at the dirt, and you can see they're just waiting for somebody to touch the ground with them. And in an instant, as your consciousness comes back to you and you take this scene in, as the crows alight around you, you take in all these details and begin to process them and begin to think, what does this mean? What will I do? And with that, friends, I say we roll initiative.
Yeah, baby!
I'm so
You.
stressed out.
Please, I
Make
need
sure you
this to
pick
be
your
good,
token.
man. I need this to be good.
I need this to be good. Famous last.
Oh, I'm happy with that. Sorry for the children watching, but I got a little excited.
Quite
Part
all
of that
right.
where
If
you-
you're not getting excited, something's wrong.
Hey man, my standard is below 10. Like I'm sure it'll permeate as the series continues, but like I just know I will take the initiative feat even just because it's that bad.
Nah, you're gonna nat 20 every roll from now
Yeah.
on, as far as initiative's concerned.
Okay, is everybody on here? Poe, Shael, Ryeth, Tone, Thinnea, my three. Okay.
Oh, shit, you got it.
Yeah.
Boom.
I know.
In an instant, you realize things are happening. Poe, you're looking across. You see Ryeth far from you on this pillar, and you could see Thinnea past beyond that, far to the south on the other side of this like nightmarish contraption where people are going to die today, you are sure. You see the other competitors on similar pillars. Tone stands with you. Shael off to your right next to Gita. What are you going to do, Poe?
I'm going to, first off, I am going to step up right next to Tone and be like, hey dude, you look like you could use some more armor, man. I got this shell. And I cast Shield of Faith on him with my bonus action. Or do I have to do my action first?
Nope, you do not. You can use your bonus action first.
Okay, so I'm going to cast Shield of Faith on him. So you've got a +2 to your AC while
Nice.
I hold it. That is a concentration spell, so it may go down soon. And then I'm not really like an act first. Oh, you know what I do? I then use my... I am going to cast resistance on myself.
Okay.
Just in case. Oh wait, that's a concentration spell. I can't do that.
It only lasts a minute anyway.
Go. Okay, so then I guess I'll just
Here's the deal
Oops,
with the
I didn't mean to
ladders,
do
by
that.
the way. I should have articulated this well. You can try to run across it during your movement. You just will need to make like an acrobatics check or an athletics check. If you use your action and your movement, you can just go across it like slowly and easily without worrying about falling down.
good to know.
Or of
I'm a
course you
giant
could just
slow
roll
turtle.
athletics to try to jump 10 feet.
Cool.
Yes.
But I'm gonna chill next to Tone, and I'm gonna cast. I'm gonna look over at the boar, and I can't get to my friend Shael or really do much of anything. So I call up and I say, Deimos, Phobos. I don't know. This seems like a Deimos spell, but you know, Phobos is anyway. And I just cast Sacred Flame at the boar.
Oh, at the boar.
Okay, you're just gonna
Interesting. Interesting. Okay, this blaze of holy fire streaks down upon the boar. What am I rolling? What kind of saving throw, John?
Dex save, it
You
looks like.
are Dex 15.
Dex 15, 10. I fail my saving throw. The boar is seared by your sacred fire for 10 points of damage. You see its fur burning off of its back as your magic torches it. Okay, cool.
Dude, that was awesome. I'm done.
I'm done. Okay, Shael GreyThorne, you're up.
I think I'm gonna try and athletically make it across this this here bridge. Oh god.
Okay, excellent. You got it.
Sweet. Okay, so here I am now. What am I? There's provisions. I'm grabbing food. What else is here? I want the chest open.
You flip open the top of the chest, and actually that's food. You see that there's like food in there. There's like breads and like large looking, almost like melons, and looks like things of cheese wrapped in cloth, dried meats.
And then what? I'm assuming weapons on the rack.
Yeah,
And
there's all
just
kinds of weapons. There's some spears and bows, a couple of swords, rope.
And what's my crazy pile of garbage on the ground here?
Just like rope and some sacks, some bags. There's a couple of like blankets there, a few full water skins.
Okay, so I'm gonna take like all of the easily portable foods, shove them in a sack, and
Okay.
yeah, and then grab some of the rope. I think just like a little bit more.
Okay,
rope,
so you grab like 50 feet of rope and a bunch of food and pack it into a sack. That's your movement. That's your action. Okay, cool.
And nah, I'm good.
Okay. Alton Ducat goes. He turns and looks at you, Ryeth, and he's just like,
This is not going to end well for you, sorcerer.
and he like pulls his sword like madly from his belt and
Jesus.
steps in at you. He seems to like not be concerned with like running for the supplies at all. He wants you like make a moment here. And so he yanks his sword off his belt and steps in at you. Excuse me. First attack.
Probably
What's
hit.
your AC?
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. He hits you for 8 points of slashing damage with one hand.
Okay.
And then he is also going to reach out with his other hand. You see, like, he cuts at you with the longsword, and you, like, take a step back, but he's too fast. And the sword, like, carves against your flesh, like, blood spraying down onto the platform underneath you. And now you see his left hand, like, shocking with electricity, and he reaches out to grab you with it. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't want to do that. I want to do that.
Oh boy, Ryeth drew a bad number.
Dude, no.
He did. Poor Ryeth. All those rerolls did not well serve him. 16 hits.
Yeah, it's...
So he reaches out with like the left hand to grab at you as like these arcs of lightning are like charged between his fingers for 10 points of lightning damage.
Okay.
And you lose your reaction this turn.
Okay.
And so he's like straight blocking you from the path here. Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah, what a dick. That's Alton's turn. Wound goes. He turns and looks at you, Thinnea, like, well, do you still stand, lady, or what? You gonna get in my way?
And I'll say after you.
And so with that, Wound goes charging across the platform. He'll make an athletics check. Cool. And he just like snatches up a bag in his hand as he gets to the other side, not even really like looking at what it is. And that's it. That's Wound's turn. Ryeth, you're up.
All right. I'm going to look over to my new friend and be like, man, you really picked the wrong platform. I'm going to cast
Technically, he didn't pick the platform.
Thunder Wave.
Oh.
Yes.
Knock him off. Knock him off.
Constitution saving throw. Okay, we got it. Saving throw, con. 14.
Yes.
Right.
Nice.
Just
And
like
he's straight off the platform.
boom! You see him like raise his hands. This young kid who seemed like a little bit silly in the training room yesterday, lower his hands in this arc with this word of power like slipping from his lips, and there's just this deafening explosion of thunder as Alton Ducat is blasted backwards, plummeting 30 feet to the ground to land flat on his back. So he takes 11 points of damage from your thunder wave, plus another 4/6 for falling is 17, and the boar begins just charging madly at him.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well played. That's your action, Ryeth. You got movement and a bonus action.
Yeah, so I'm actually, I want to save this. Yeah, I'm going to, wait, how far is he from me? Okay, I'm going to save that. I'm going to use, Quicken Spell,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to cast Mage Armor.
Oh, nicely done. Good choice, friend.
Yeah.
You snap this piece of like cured leather out of your component pouch and like whisper your words of magic as your finger traces these sigils in the air, and the leather like disintegrates in your hand, and you feel the protection forming around you. That's your bonus action. You still have movement.
I'm actually good here.
Okay, cool. Tone Goodheart, you're up, friend.
I'm going to try to make my way into the center. Okay. Where's where? Come on, load. Here we go. That is a 22.
Can I
Yeah,
shout
nice.
out to him at all, or
Sure.
am I done?
Oh, well,
I just
no.
wanna say-
What I... Okay, go ahead.
Well, yeah,
No,
you can
whisper it,
ignore
whisper
me,
it,
but I just
whisper
wanna
it, whisper
say,
it. I want
dude-
it to be a secret.
Dude, you might want to wait for Shael, man. And that's all.
I'm already there.
He's already there. Okay, unless this is in character. I'll whisper to Poe. I'll say, pretend that I hit you really hard, and I'll do like a fake little like mind force with my hands, and just hope that he sort of goes along with it. Like,
Yeah.
ooh, I'm getting you with my mind.
I'll like go, ow, man, that hurts so much.
Cool.
And hold my
so I'm gonna
head
make my
like
way-
this.
I'll make my way into the center, and so I'm gonna whisper to Shael. I'm gonna sort of gesticulate to the woman who is on his platform, and I'm gonna mutter to him, "Friend or foe?"
I mean, friend, probably. We'll see. We're in a scenario for foe, I'm thinking. But I don't want to kill you yet. I'm too old for this shit.
Cool. So I'm gonna make a big show. So I am going to look at describe the weapons rack to me.
So it's just literally like a rack, right? And in it are like a couple of spears, and then like one long battle axe, a long sword. There's a pair of long bows, a short bow, a crossbow leaning up against it, a quarterstaff. A lot of like long hafted weapons. Nothing particularly crazy looking, but
Cool. I'm gonna push that over and off the platform.
I was thinking about that.
I love it. So you proceed to like reach down and just like shove this whole weapon rack right off the platform, where it like just clatters, and like these things go splaying around like implements of destruction. One of the bow breaks, the crossbow goes off. You see the bolt ricochet off of the pillar over here. Okay, that's your movement action, bonus action, pretty much. You guys are standing here together on this thing. Thinnea Hallowwhisper, you are up.
So with my dash as a bonus action, I don't need to make the acrobatics, right?
Oh no, you're correct. Yeah, you can just do that. Yeah.
Cool. So I'm going to cross. And then as far as getting onto this platform here, ping, is it the same height as we are?
Yes, it is. It's also like 30 feet up. It's just a 10-foot jump, right?
Okay. And then what's around me here on this platform?
as you look down, it's very similar to like what was going on with Shael, right? Like the chest wound has flipped it open, and you see in the chest are like skins of water and food, of which your bag is pretty well full. Then there's a couple of packs on the ground that look like they have some rope in them, like blankets, more like water skins, and then this weapon rack has like shields, maces, clubs. Yeah.
Anything look magical?
I don't know. Roll an investigation. You're like
Okay.
glancing around at all of it, like frantically in the moment.
Nothing's like shimmering.
There's nothing like obviously glowing and looking like incredibly impressive. With a quick assessment, you're pretty sure this is all just like mundane shit. The only
Okay.
magical shit might be the axe that Woon has on him, right?
Okay.
Like,
Okay. So I'm gonna take like the packs with the rope, and I'll put those in my bag of holding, and then I'll tell Woon, or I'll ask Woon if he wants to take the ladder, our ladder, and lift it up to set it down so that we don't have to jump.
he just kind of like chuckles at you, like, oh, and he's like, lady, this is a long step for me. This ain't no jump. And he like shrugs. You're not sure if he'll do it or not, but certainly
Okay.
you asked. Roll persuasion. Roll persuasion. Okay.
Yeah.
Gita goes. She at this point is like looking nervously between you two on this middle pillar, and then Edgar still standing far on his. And she looks like she's like really unsure. She doesn't want to rush you guys. She glances
We
down at the
promise
weapon
we won't
rack,
kill you till you're off the platform.
and she yells back at you like, "I make no such promise to you, turtle." And
That's
she,
fine, come get
What
some
about
shit.
me? Am I on the table? We get it. Turtles are not that great, but look, I'm a friendly elf.
She like runs and takes a long jump and like lands here, like skidding on the stone as she hits, and she glances over at you running like, don't get in my way, elf, and you'll get out of here without my anger coming towards you. And she starts like running this way. She's able to make it about that far, and then her bonus action to dash to here. She like starts running around, looks like she's dashing down towards the ground, watching you guys out of the side of her eye. Edgar Poe, you're up.
I would like to just shout out, I wish people would like meet me halfway, dude. And then I want to like jump off the thing to like here.
Oh,
That's a big
How
jump.
much- Yeah, how
it's like 40 feet, bro.
30 feet.
Sorry.
It's 30 feet, so you're just gonna jump. You don't have acrobatics or any crazy shit like
No.
that, right?
Fall.
Oops, that's not correct. Hold on a second. My roll 20 is lagging a little bit. Don't worry about that. Don't panic.
I'm not.
27 points of damage. Ooh, still.
I think you
You
need that
jump.
protection spell more than I do.
You jump down off of this pillar, and you're like, oh, it's not that. Oh, shit, it's pretty far. Boom! And you hit the ground hard, taking 14 points of bludgeoning damage as you
That's-
land.
Okay. And then I just want to like, can I move still?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that was, you still have the rest of your movement. That was pretty much only 5 feet. I'm not going to like hold
Okay.
that against
So
you.
then a dash would be 45 more. So I want to like run to like, you know, right in the middle. Like I said, meet me in the middle. Okay, there I am. Cool guys. So
Okay, excellent. Shal, you're up.
I'm gonna just like grab this ladder and put it down towards, like, not towards the platforms, just down, and just climb down the 30-foot thing with the ladder.
Oh, nicely done. Okay, cool. Which one? The one on the left?
Yeah, either one. It doesn't
I guess it doesn't.
particularly matter. And then before I go down the ladder, though, I see the boar, and I'm going to like just summon in like a swirl of it's gonna be like purple and gold light. I summon my sword, flowing sword, and then just like crawl down this ladder, prepping for Ugly Boar Man.
Okay, that's action bonus, action movement. There you go, Shell. Alton Ducat now on the ground. The boar is like coming at him, and he's just like, eh. And he starts like rushing around this way, 15 feet, and then he will proceed to, what do we got here?
Oh, he still wants to play? I was going to let him go.
He comes to here, so he's got like an eye on you over there, Edgar, and he's just like, I will not be ignored. He seems like really pissed, and so he
So we kill him first.
Yeah, for real. He will throw out a lightning lure at poor Edgar.
Ooh.
Poe, strength DC 14, Edgar.
Yeah, no, that does. Oh, strength DC?
Yeah, saving throw, DC 14. Roll strength save.
20.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
You guys see like this lash of electricity burst out from Ducat, lancing over towards Poe to like grab him. And it does. It like snaps around your leg, and you yank your leg back out of it like quickly enough before it can do any meaningful damage to you. That's Ducat's turn, movement, action. That's his shit. Wound goes. He
Could
just
we
looks at you
see the ladder thing from what Shael did?
Yes.
Can I use a
Trying to
free
teach
action
him?
to be like, do that? That's better. That's better.
And so he just kind of chuckles at you and shrugs, I guess, then. As he, like, makes his jump, he kicks the ladder off the edge. And it, like, bounces a little bit and almost, like, falls off. But it positions itself, like, pitched down now towards the ground. And with that, he jumps off. Let me double check, roll his dice. Just to be cool, right? Athletics. Oh god, my roll 20's lagging really bad, guys. I'm sorry. Maybe there's the 40 guys on the map. He comes like running around the edge here, and he's just like, "Good luck, lady. I've got an axe to find." And you see him like charging this way, and you can see on the other side. I should have moved this guy already. The Minotaur. And he's just got like eyes locked for it, moving straight towards it. That's Wound. Ryeth, Thunderbuck, you're up.
All right. So I see him attacking my new ally, who seems strangely different than yesterday. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
I think he had something special in his cell that he's not telling us about.
Anyways, I see what he did, and I was like, oh, that's a good idea. So I'm gonna cast the lightning lure at our friend the Ducat.
Oh, buddy. This jerk. Look how much better that saving throw is. Okay, strength save. He's a pretty strong guy.
Not strong enough.
Not strong enough.
And that's gonna be like up in the air, right? Because he's coming.
Yeah, you're going to drop him 10 feet.
Yeah, that was
you're
the
gonna
whole
pull him
idea.
up 10 feet. So he takes 14 points of lightning damage right off the rip. The lightning lances down off of the edge. You got to stand on the edge here to like get the angle on him. And you yank him 10 feet up in the air and then just drop him. And so he takes another 4 points of bludgeoning damage as he like hits the ground for the second time, dropped by the Thunderbuck today. Like, woof, hard onto the ground. He's like laying there prone, mud all over his armor and his fancy red cloak, like, eh! And like he glances like back up looking at you. That's your action.
So I then am gonna just move myself a little closer in, I think, away from his direction, perhaps.
Okay, so you step back to the other side out of line of sight. The boar is like charging at this point. You see it. That's Ryeth, Tone Goodheart. You're up.
All right, I am going to do a few fun leaps onto this platform and then onto the crow pillar.
Oh, wow. Okay. My man, you jump onto the crow pillar, and the crows like scatter, like flying out around you and alighting down all over the place around, like watching you with awe. That's your movement.
And I'm going to unsheath my longbow, and just because he looks He looks like he needs to be put out of his misery, and why should I leave somebody living in misery for so long? I'm going to take a shot at Mr. Duque, Hadouken, whatever the hell you want to call him.
Hadouken!
You guys hear
That is a
screaming
25.
25 hits solidly.
For 12 points of damage.
Excellent. It hits him solidly. The arrow like sails down, landing in like a gap below the breastplate and like carving a piece of his hip. You see like the blood running freely down his leg as the arrow passes through, shattering on the stone on the other side. That's your first attack. Second attack?
I'll do it again. That is a 22.
It's
For another, just the 13 points of damage.
wow. The second arrow like hits high above like the armor, and you see it like cut like just shear right across the back of his neck, and blood now like freely running down over his back, soaking into the cloak, and it's crimson, staining his armor. He looks pretty hurt after that one. That looked like it really fucked him up. He's like down on his like prone from being dropped, like putting himself back up to his feet, bleeding badly from these two shots. Like he looks afraid.
Sweet.
Movement.
I'm just gonna hang tight because I looked super badass doing that. So I'm just gonna revel in the hope that anyone was looking at me while I did that.
Excellent. And as the turn closes out on time, we see the crows, literally a couple of them, like a light back down on the perch, like anxiously looking up at like this elf standing above them with his longbow clutched in his hand.
They're trying to upskirt you?
Yeah, for real. Thinnea, you are up.
So seeing him attack my turtle friend, I'm first going to use my bonus action to hide, and then I want to short bow him.
Okay, so you just like step back out of sight. You're gonna fake him out as though like you're going the other way. So roll a stealth check. Oh yeah,
18?
faked right out. And then like you peek back over and you see him and can like take your shot
Great.
from stealth with advantage.
This is what happens when you attack our friend.
You needed that advantage too.
Yeah.
So 22 does hit.
Great.
That would have been dramatic for 6.
And then I get my
plus.
sneak for that, right?
Yup, you sure do.
Oh, 9.
Wow, he looks super fucking hurt. The last arrow comes sailing in from the other side, and he's like, "Ah!" And like turns and like looks up at you, like straight whining at this point. He looks like terrified. He looks like a scared like little boy in his daddy's armor. Man, this guy has no business being out here. You know, that's your attack. You have movement and your bonus action, or you use your bonus action.
I use my bonus, yeah. So I'm gonna stay up here until we finish dealing with this guy.
Okay. Gita goes. She's like still eyeing you guys who seem like unconcerned with her, and so she just runs down this way. The boars go. The boars. Oh, buddy. You're right here.
Oh shit!
Yeah. So you've like come like you're shelling your way down the ladder, and like you've stepped out on the ground. You've got your sword in your hand, your shield clutched in your other, and the boar just is like, and it's huge, enormous, this like hulking brute of a fucking creature, and it just comes barreling straight at you, Shell. Charge. Moves 20 feet in a straight line towards its target. Rolls its tusk attack. What's your AC? Super
19.
high.
Not high enough.
24. I'm so sorry, Shael. We know how this goes. So 6 points of slashing damage plus, because of its charge, does an additional 2d6 points of damage. Not bad at all.
Okay.
That's not bad.
No, it could have
And
been worse.
roll a DC 13 strength saving throw.
I'm fucked.
You got it.
Oh, God.
Oh,
You're on your
critical
back.
one. Oh, critical.
No,
one. The target
not
is
the
a
back.
creature. It must succeed on a strength save or be knocked prone. And it
It
does
is, you
like
are
just
knocked on your
hook
back.
you, throws you up, and just like he said, you land flat on your back on your shell, turtle style, like. You're knocked prone for next round. This one goes.
These turtles aren't making it very easy to keep them alive.
No.
What?
They are not, are
They
they?
have a death wish.
This one comes
jumps,
charging.
falls up a pillar, and the other one gets knocked on his back.
I was
True.
careful. I took my time to get down.
This one comes charging around the corner and makes a rush at Alton. He's down, and surprisingly, sitting flat on his ass, bleeding badly from the many arrow holes. As this boar comes charging around and tries to gore him, he gets his sword up in time and is able to knock the thing's tusks away. You can see he is a strong man. He's fighting with all his will not to die here. That's the boar's end of the turn, top of the round. Edgar, before you go.
Yeah, I took
One
14
second.
points of damage.
Yes, last round from the falling, right?
Yeah.
But before you go, at the top of the round on 20, you guys see these green crystals next to you begin to fucking glow. Tone, you see it out of the corner of your eye. And Edgar, you see the glimmer of light. You're looking at Duke-It, and you see this green light down and glance over his shoulder as this crystal's glowing, and suddenly out of it sprays this cone of horrible looking green acid. Roll a dex saving throw, DC 13.
I was gonna go touch the crystal on my next turn, so I'm glad I know what it does.
9.
Good choices.
9. You fail, and so you suffer 14 points of acid damage, Poe.
Are you down?
No.
No, probably
Shit.
not. And Tone, the same. The one next to you just sprays this cone of acid at you all of a sudden, eviscerating the crows. The crows around
That is
you
not
melt in a
fun.
wave. DC 13
Oh,
dex.
that is a critical fail, my friend.
Ooh. So you
Killing us on
take.
saves.
I know. Saving throws. Hold on a second. You take 6 points of acid damage, Tone. Now, Edgar, it's your turn. Sorry about that.
So just for everybody out there watching, my health bar is broken, so it'll show as full, even though it's not. So what do I need to do to maintain the Shield of Faith concentration spell now that I've taken 28 points of damage?
Okay, so we're going to roll. Technically, they're two separate concentration checks. It's my bad that I forgot the first one. So anytime you take damage, you roll a concentration check, and the difficulty is, it is a constitution saving throw, okay? And the difficulty is either half of the damage or 10, whichever is higher. So 10 is higher than 7 both times. So you need to make 2 con saves and beat 10. First one, you made it on the fall.
Sweet.
Second, you made it on the acid. The Shield of Faith is still up.
Okay. So I am going to... Dude, that hurt a lot. And then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3... I'm going to go onto this side of the pillar over here.
Mhm.
And I am going to cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Mm-hmm. What level?
Well, first level.
Okay.
For 7 points. And then I'm going to, with my bonus action, chug a greater healing potion.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Wait. So greater healing... Okay, so I need 28. So now I need 21 more. Greater healing, what is that?
I wrote it down on your sheet. If you can, open it up in the thing. 1 sec. Let me see.
Just to make sure. So is drinking a potion a bonus action then?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
I like
perfect.
to let you guys have
I'm
that as a
about
bonus
that.
action.
Yeah.
Greater is 4d4 plus 4.
Okay.
Thank you, Taryn.
So
You're welcome.
4d4 plus 4. 17.
Wow. Okay.
A lot. That was a good roll.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was an amazing roll. So that was 24
So you get 21
total.
all back together. Yep.
Right. So I'm only 4 down now. Great. And then I look up to Tone, and I'm like, dude, should we help Shael? He doesn't look like he's doing too good. And then
I am fine. As I'm like trying to roll.
Yeah, it's like waddling on his back.
Okay, and then my turn's over.
Shael, you are on your back. You need to take half your movement to get up from prone.
That's fine. I'm up.
Okay. You pull yourself back to your feet. You've done this before. You do like the acro turtle roll, or like whoop, an alley-oop right back up on your old turtle feet. Okay.
And then there's this ugly thing in my face. All of a sudden, hello. Yeah, I'm. God, you're ugly. And then I just hit him. Just hit him real hard.
It's a boar.
Hopefully I hit him.
Yes. The glimmering like purple arc and golden light like cuts through the air as you connect with your enchanted packed sword into this thing. Damage?
Yes. And then I'm also gonna burn a spell slot and hit him with the
divine smite.
Is that cast that's cast at level 1 right now, right? Yeah.
It should ask, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just making sure. I don't think I have the level 2 option. Ah!
Excellent. For another 10. That's 19 points of damage altogether. You shear down on this thing with your enchanted sword, summoned by the power granted to you by the Leviathan, and it carves through this flesh, like carving the friggin' wild boar on the, Yuletide feast that you used to have in a Realm's Bronze Fortress before your life fell apart. Yeah, it looks pretty hurt at this point. It's like bleeding badly, but it is still a giant hulking boar. That's your attack. Bonus action?
No, I'm good for. Oh well, actually, how much did I take? 9. I'm gonna lay on hands myself for like 5.
Gross, man. You're out in the open.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. How do you beat
Out in the open?
How do you beat a boar? You lay on hands.
Duke on the ground, panicked, frantic. He takes a wild swing at the boar with his sword. 20, he hits. Okay, and then he casts a spell, reaching out again with the left hand. He tries to grab the boar.
Ooh.
And he hits. And those of you who have him in your vision, you see he cuts wildly with his sword, and he gets contact with the boar, whines and squeals as it pulls backwards, and then he reaches out and grabs it, and you see the boar's body shuddering, and you could see the arrow wound in his neck from Tone's shot healing, the blood flowing a little less freely afterwards. Okay, excellent. That's Duke's turn. Yes?
Not for us.
It is. It's super excellent. Hey, he just put damage on that boar that had not been hurt yet, so that's good, isn't it?
The boar wasn't doing anything to us.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, technically to you and me. we picked the high ground.
At this point, Wound comes charging down the stairs over here, and you see something happen. As he comes down the stairs, the Minotaur is coming from the other side, and suddenly appearing on both sides of them. This glimmering green light fires up from the base of the stairs, kind of trapping the two of them in this section as their axes connect with one another in this mighty thunderous blow. Ryeth, Thunderbuck, you are up.
Cool. So I'm just gonna, stick with what's working well and shoot another lightning lure at our friend Alton, because he deserves it, man. It was his fault.
He deserves it.
He got first blood.
Yeah. I mean, not much damage, but.
That definitely hits. Let's see what we got here. Poor old kid Duke with the strength save. He's a strong guy.
Oh.
8,
Ooh.
not that strong. And so once again, dude, you grab him with this fucking lightning lure, which doesn't do a lot of damage by itself. But you drop him from 10 feet after like yanking him up along the wall. And so he takes the moment of truth. 5 points of bludgeoning damage, which is not enough to put him back out. He like you drop him again to the ground, and he's sitting there like, "This is impossible! I can't believe I'm going to die on the first day." You hear him like almost like screaming to no one in particular. He looks really hurt. That's your action, Ryeth. What else you got? Bonus action movement.
Yeah, I want to get to Thinnea, so I need to make an athletics check to make it across this. Is that correct?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Or acrobatic, whichever you prefer.
Okay. Sorry.
Because you just used your action, yeah.
Acrobatics or athletics? Equally comparably bad. So
sounds about right.
That's a 12.
You made it. As you get to the middle, you feel the whole thing wobbling, and you almost go down, but you grab your balance and are able to like shimmy quickly to the other side. You're now standing on the platform with Thinnea. That's your movement action, all that good stuff. Tone, you're up.
So Poe said to me, "We gotta go help Sha'el."
He did. He said that. He said,
I'm gonna say, all right, just one more thing, and I'm gonna fire off one more arrow at Alton.
Oh baby! Twang! We hear the bowstring.
Let's see, where'd it go? There we go. That is a 13.
Misses. It hits him square in the breastplate, and you see the arrow deflect off, and he's like,
I'll have my revenge, elf. You'll not be the one to kill me.
he's like waving
I
the
will.
sword as the board bears down on top of him. Second attack.
Just remember, and I'll yell, just remember my name, Olis Broadblade. That's me, Otis Broadblade. And then I'm gonna, for my movement, I'm gonna jump over to this platform.
Oh shit!
And I'm gonna take aim at the boar with the bow.
Okay. Roll an athletics check for that jump, or acrobatics, whichever one, as you take like a running leap off the edge of the platform. 18. Excellently done. Tone like cartwheels through the air, landing solidly in the second shot at the boar. Boar has a much lower AC. 22 hits.
Yeah.
13.
Yeah.
15 points of damage. Excellent. This arrow lands like solidly, sinking in like the back of the thing's neck up near the head, and it's like squealing. Hurt pretty badly at this point. Okay. That's Tone's turn. Thinnea, you're up.
So I'm gonna. This time I want to hide behind Ryeth. Or try to hide behind Ryeth. You still want me to roll for stealth?
Yeah, technically, yeah. Like he's
Okay.
like looking back and forth at all of you, right? He knows you're an attacker.
Oh, expert
dude,
hiding.
invisible.
I disappeared.
Gone.
I disappeared.
Ryeth, you're like, where did she?
I'm like touching him too. So I'm gonna short bow again.
19 hits.
Great.
Nice.
Oh, plus.
Plus.
7.
Yes.
What's it look like today as you execute poor pathetic Alton Ducat while this boar tries to like manhandle his body?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna yell, "Hey Tone, watch this!" and then I'm gonna kill him. I don't even care how it kills
Escalated
him.
immediately in this game.
The arrow like drives clean through his throat and like snaps into the stone behind, and you watch as like the boar just literally overbears him and begins like just ripping into his body, tearing him apart. That's your attack and your bonus action. You have movement.
I'm gonna. I'm still gonna stay still, but I'm gonna tap Ryeth on the shoulder and say, "Thanks, buddy." That's it.
Welcome.
Excellent. Excellent. Gita has like seen what happened on the other side, and so she jumps off here and begins like running out for the edges. Surrounding like this kind of central area, this whole raised like battle platform is basically a big enormous field that's like spreading out a couple 100 feet in every direction to a thick line of like trees that are kind of surrounding you. You're out in the middle of like a copse, essentially, right? Okay, cool. Gita jumps off and starts making her run. The boars go. This one is straight just eating Altenduket's dead corpse. The one in front of you, Shael, uses its focused terror against you. Roll a wisdom save, DC 13. Excellent. You are not afraid.
Yeah, 15.
And with that, then it will also just try to gore you. That's what.
Well,
real jerky guy. 18.
no, he ain't touching me.
He like slashes up at your sharp tusks, and you like bring the shield down immediately fast, and possibly blocking this hulking thing as it comes for you. That's the end of that round. Who's over here? Shh, Edgar Poe. You're here, and you see the crystal like glimmering, but it does not shoot acid at you this round. You're up.
So am I not blocked by this pillar in between me and the crystal?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
But it wouldn't have been able to hit you if it did shoot, but it didn't shoot this round.
Great.
But yes, you were.
Just making sure, since you said that. Okay, so I am going to exasperatedly say, what's taking everyone so long? And then I'm just going to kind of saunter over here to where I can kind of maybe see them a little better. And I'll be like, oh, there's a pig. And I'm going to cast my free Citadel cantrip, Frostbite, at the boar.
Excellent. You remember as a child being trained in this before Deimos and Phobos were even names on your lips. You had learned to conjure the frostbite. And so, con save. It's a boar. It's got con. 16. It is able to resist the damage. You see the ice begin to form on its like hairy, rough hide on its back, and it turns like glowering at you and just kind of bristles and shakes itself, and the ice cascades off of it in chunks, clattering onto the ground. That's some of your movement and an action. What else you got?
So then I will call up to my gods and ask them to lower the boom on the boar and cast my spiritual weapon, which will take the shape of my trusty battle axe. Okay. I would say I want it on the opposite side of the board to kind of keep him penned into to Shael.
Got it. There's my terribly drawn battle axe. It's also like 30 feet long. Anyway, okay, battle axe is up.
19 to hit.
Yes, hits.
Voice.
Level 2, spiritual weapon. 7 points of damage.
7 points of force damage. This glimmering blue battle axe appears like shimmering at a mystical force in the air behind it, Shael, and you see it just drop down, chop right into the back of this boar, cutting him pretty badly. The boar is like squealing and screaming and like pretty panicked at this point. Not like really feeling this whole encounter. You have a little bit more movement if you want to move.
I'm just gonna say, dudes, can we go?
Altenduket?
No, you're skipping me.
Fucking dead.
You skipped
I'm
Shael.
sorry. I did skip you,
okay.
Shael. I got in front of myself. Shael,
It's all right. I think I'm hoping he's almost dead, and I'm just gonna like just hit him as hard as I can with my sword. 14 to hit.
Hits. It's only AC 14. You're just like with your angry old man fury.
I'm going to kill you.
And with that, as you bring down this pact summoned longsword granted to you by the Leviathan that you left in the Onyx Dynasty, you shatter its skull, clean open with the sword, just cleaving down into its head, and it slumps in a heap to the ground, unmoving.
Yes.
Just gonna walk over here. Just
Okay.
casually walk away.
Hey, dude. That was good.
What's up, man?
Screams coming from the other side. Woon and Dogan are fighting wildly inside, like these glimmering green lights. You see the glowing is starting on these crystals again next to you. Gita has charged. She's like halfway across the field to the tree line now. And as you glance out towards her, you see Kyron Thesk as well, running wildly towards the woods. Woon is fighting. Ryeth, Thunderbuck, you're up. What would you like to do?
All right, there's still like supplies, right? Because Woon and Thinnea didn't take it off.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna now that I have time, I'm gonna stock up on food and water, like whatever I can carry. Maybe grab another extra backpack full, and then I'm gonna drink a health potion.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna look over to Thinnea and be like, so I don't really know what to do anymore. I don't think we should go down there, but yeah, just let me know when you come up with a plan. I'm gonna rest for now.
So you see him like wildly stuffing stuff into his bag before he throws this at you.
I'll just say, let's kill the boar first, then we'll go down there.
Okay. Do I still have an action?
You use your action to fill your bag.
To fill my bag?
And your
Okay.
bonus action to drink a healing potion,
Beautiful.
which you can roll. 2d4 plus 2 is standard healing. And so you have movement, but
Yeah. I don't really
Okay.
want to go down there. That sounds like a bad idea. Well, I have. Oh yeah, I'll use one of my 2d4 plus 2s.
okay. Tone, you're up.
All right. So I see. I see Sarah down here on the map. Am I assuming that I see her in
Yeah.
my life?
Yes, you do see her in your life. She's like standing here on the staircase, and you could see like she's hesitating. She's not sure whether or not she should like jump down onto the ground or run. And she's glancing back and forth between you. And then your boy Zoltur is over here standing on this pedestal watching these guys fight.
Walter, what the hell are you doing?
Waiting to cuddle.
All right, I'm gonna yell out as loud as I can. Stupid turtles! You almost got killed by that boar. You'll die soon enough. By my hand, hopefully. So I'll jump to this platform. About my movement, and then I'll use my bonus action to dash around here. I'm basically trying to feint to Sarah that like, oh, I'm not with them. I'm my own renegade.
Yeah, you belong to no one.
Okay,
Exactly. I'm
excellent.
nobody's.
Roll a deception check.
Okay. Ooh. Will this work?
It's worth rolling. This is a play. Okay. Thinnea, you are up.
I'm gonna do the exact same thing I did last time, so I'm gonna hide behind Ryeth. Or try to hide behind Ryeth. For 21.
Okay, yep.
And then I'm gonna attack the boar again.
Okay, you got it. With advantage from stealth, you just keep popping up.
crit.
Oh, 20.
Yes.
Roll some damage.
Roll all of the damage.
Okay, plus 6, that's 14, that's 20. You just sink another arrow like right into this boar's throat. It's not dead, but it's bleeding profusely now. It looks really hurt.
Okay.
And you have movement, but you're gonna stay up there, right?
Yes. Can I use the movement to kind of knock the ladder down so when we're ready, this other ladder, so when we're ready we can use that one? The one that's closer to the boar?
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
Okay.
sure. Why not, right? Why not? You kick the ladder over a little bit and it falls down off the thing. bouncing. The boar goes. It looks like fucking hurt. It like turns, looking up from like Duke's shredded body and his flesh, and there's gore dripping off its tusks, and it's a real horror show. But it's pretty hurt, and it proceeds to turn and like start running around this pillar and just start charging across the map to get the hell out of here. The other is dead. Poe, you're up.
Okay, so I am going to turn to Shael, and in Tortle, so that no one else even watching through the wards or anything potentially would even be able to understand, I'm going to say to Shael, dude, if we like win this thing, what are the odds that we end up in slavery?
60-40.
Yeah. We need another exit strategy, dude. And but for now, I guess we'll just follow these guys, and I'll use that as my action and bonus action and movement to say all of that shit. And then I'll hang out.
Really slow,
to
Tortle.
Shael. Yeah.
Okay, fascinating. I like it. Just as an aside, like a super nerdy technicality, technically the language of Tortle is the language of Aquan, which is a subset of Primordial. So Ryeth, you can understand them when they speak that. They can't understand you because you speak a broader language, which is an interesting point. Anyway.
Like I speak Latin, they speak Pig Latin.
For real. Shael, you're up.
Gosh, I don't even know. I want to go see what Mr. Duke had, but he's so far away. I want his cape. I really just want his cape. I want to be a Tortle with a cape.
You could charge.
I am. I'm just going to charge over to Duke it.
Yeah, there's your dash. So you get like, what, 60 feet? Yeah, I'll let you go the whole way. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm taking his cape.
That's both your actions, though. You're like running over there.
Okay,
Next round, you'll be able to search him. He's dead AF. Woon is fighting. Ryeth, what are you doing?
Do I see Sarah?
Yes, you can. Or where are you? Where are you?
I mean,
yes,
yeah.
You're standing high on a platform, so you can see like she's started descending. As you look back over the concourse behind you, you can see Tone like approaching her, and she's like descending these stairs here and has paused for a moment, unsure of how to proceed. But you see her.
Fuck. Yeah, I'm gonna get down. I'm gonna climb down the ladder. So that's
Okay.
30 feet.
Yep.
Which is my movement. Yeah. Okay, I climb down the ladder from home.
Okay, you still have like your action and bonus action if you want to like run anywhere else or do anything else. You're cool. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, can I see that boar or no?
You could, sure. Yeah, it's still in range. You could
Cool.
see it.
I'll shoot it with 2 Eldritch Blasts.
Oh, fuck. Okay. You come running down the ladder, like standing here. You have a sight of it as it's like charging, galloping across the field for the woods.
Oh,
Eldritch Blast number 1 misses. Eldritch Blast number 2, 18 hits.
Nice.
Sorry, man.
That's why it's a Warlock spell.
You give it a little poke on the ass, and it seems to like hustle it up as it runs for the woods. Tone.
Oh, and as my bonus action, then I'll move 10 more feet in the direction of Sarah.
Oh, okay. So you're going in the direction of Sarah. You want to come back this way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, you're good. You control your token. That's fine.
Cool. No.
Tone,
That makes sense.
you're up.
Okay. I'll move in this direction, and since we're sort of in close range, I'll sort of talk over to Sarah, and I'll say, I'm with the Storm Sorcerer. You look out for me, I'll look out for you.
How
does she react to that?
She looks really unsure. Roll persuasion. Because why not? It is true.
Yeah, exactly.
You might have been better with the deception roll, though.
14.
Okay, so you give her that, and she turns, and she's just like, I'm not looking for any reason to kill anybody I don't have to, elf.
Okay, and then... do I want to do anything else? How's this big crystal looking? Is it looking to do anything fun?
Yes, it is. It's like glowing like the other ones. It looks like probably something bad will come out of it if we stay here long enough.
Cool, I'm going to use my bonus action to dash.
I'm
out.
Where you going?
I'm going to go into the center here.
Roll a dexterity saving throw, DC 13, as you dash through that space.
Oh, right, so I'm not caught up in the brouhaha.
21. You jump down, like covering the whole first set of stairs, landing on this middle platform, and the second you do, you hear the sound like of like this arcane energy, and you leap like, oh man, and like literally as you're like cartwheeling over the second set of stairs, you see it like the wall raise up behind you, and you land out here flat in the middle of this big open pedestal on the ground level, a few feet above the ground now. That's Tone doing a whole bunch of stuff. Thinnea, you're up.
So I will also go down to the ground.
Okay. It's your movement.
And I am going to join Shael over here.
Okay.
So I guess I'll technically dash to do that. And then I'm going to try one more time to short bow this guy.
Oh, okay. Roll it up. 15 hits for damage.
No pig fleas.
Kill it.
You just killed the boar who had exactly 9 health left.
Nice.
Good job.
Today with the short bow, like, and it just sails right into the air, sinking down next to this thing's ear as the boar like slumps with its momentum, like driving it, skidding across the field. It leaves this trough and falls over on its side. That's Thинnea's turn. Sarah goes. You just jumped down in front of her, Tone, and fired off these things, and she just like spits a curse, and she jumps down and starts like, that's okay. It starts running this way. She doesn't really care. She jumps down and like starts running from you guys towards the woods. The boars up near you guys are dead. Pretty much like the chaos has subsided. Like, Shael, it's your, or Poe was going first. So Poe, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
Okay, so now I told everyone to group up in the center, so I guess I should head that way too. So the total movement I can do with the 25 speed is 50, right? And that means I can't do anything
use your
else.
movement. No, you can. You use your movement and your action. You still would have a bonus action technically at the end of that.
So step out 5, go 45. It would take me to there. So I can't get behind this for cover. Shit, that leaves me moving around.
Center should be up here.
Well, so
Like-
technically, you ready? Like the top of the round, this thing sprays acid down again, and it does not get you because of like where
I'm
you're
behind,
at
right.
around the corner, right? It like sprays another cone of acid down at you because you're like sort of in range, but it can't actually hit you, and then you're good.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm just trying not to leave myself open for the next turn, and I can't get behind this pillar. Behind this pillar. I can only get to here. That's the furthest I can get. So,
what's your movement? 50?
50.
You could get here.
oh, okay, because I thought I would have to move 5 to here, and then 45 to here.
Well, we're counting that space twice, though, right? This is super technicalities,
Okay.
but just we start from the space that you're gonna, the first one you move into, right? So that's 45 and then 50.
So I could get here. Okay, so what I want to do is, I want to like start to run and then do like a shell slide off to the corner, like on my back, and then stand back up and like do like a peace sign.
Excellent. And so Tone's the only one who's able to see you. You see him like come charging around the corner and shell slide past the pillar, like pop back up to his feet, like.
I'm not approvingly.
Here you go. Picking up tone traits as we go. Shell, you're standing over Dukett's body. Is there anything particular you're doing to search him? Or you just yank his cloak off?
Well, I am making sure that I grab the cape because I don't know why, but Shell wants a cape.
Okay.
But other than that, I'm just looking to see if he's got anything that might be of aid.
Do you have Arcana or Investigation?
Probably have one of those things. No Arcana, but I do have Investigation.
Roll an Investigation check. 14. You snatch up the cloak from him, and he's got a pretty nice sword, too. Like, it looks okay.
I'll take it.
Okay. You grab his sword, and you have the cloak and the sword each in one hand. And what else? That's your action. You want to move?
He doesn't have any rings? He has no rings or anything on? He's not fancy?
Sure, he does. You used your action already. As you looked him over, you thought the sword was like the fanciest thing on him, but like you still have movement technically, but your action you used to like take his sword, take the cloak. And then your bonus action to assess. And so you have movement left.
Man. I'm not going near those crystals, man. That's already a problem. I'm gonna stay out here, but I'm gonna like
Okay. Woon and Dogan at this point have been like fighting wildly, and Woon proceeds to like come tumbling back and jump off the pillar and start running. Ryeth, you're up.
All right. I am going to use my movement, and so this is like what I'm on right now is like a raised platform, right? Is that correct? Like
oh, I thought you would run down to the ground, but yeah. A raised platform up
that's
here.
What I was asking. That's okay. So can I go like 30 feet to right here, say?
Yeah, and you're like underneath it is what we're saying? You're like standing underneath the dais, or are you trying to get back up there?
No. I'm underneath it. Yeah, totally.
Okay.
And then
They're all suspended by magic, right? There's no like pillars underneath. They're just like these staircases of stone leading up into the air.
Cool. Well, this isn't going to hurt anyone, and I kind of wanted to save this for a tactical thing, but I need to catch Sarah, so I'm going to use this.
Oh, shit. You guys hear this explosion of thunder as Ryeth thundersteps.
So does that spell sniper work for that as well, or no?
No, spell sniper specifically works for spells where you make an attack roll.
Cool. So then I'm going to land right here. I'm going to look over to Poe and be like, you needed a better way out. I got a better way out. Follow me.
That's awesome, dude.
Okay, cool. That's your move there. Tone, you're up.
I'm gonna, since I guess, is Zolter the only one in this area who isn't fighting?
Yes, he was watching the Minotaur and the Orc fight, and you could see like he's clutching this spear in his hand that he picked up off one of the platforms, and he looks over and he's like,
Master Goodheart, with me, quickly, we can escape.
Ah, keep up the ruse, Zolter. We must remember the long game. But look, you didn't hear it from me, but I heard a bunch of primo weapons fell on the ground over on the northeast corner, and it looks like everyone's scattering. You hang tight, scrounge around, we'll meet up later, and I'll give him a nice little wink.
He's like,
I will find you. I will find you, Master Goodheart. Yes.
okay.
Just remember, when you look up at the moon, I'm looking at the same moon too.
And
then I'll
looks up at the sky as you say it. Like,
no, it's daytime, idiot. Not now.
Yes.
And then I'll take both my movement and my bonus action to run off and hang behind Poe, and I'll sort of like give him a nice little pat on the shell for a good maneuver there.
This guy is totally going to end up saving us from like the worst situation in like 4 months.
And that's why you always string along a guy.
Oh, I know.
Oh God, dude.
So many strings.
Thinnea, you are up.
I
There's
was
no,
hoping
pressing
to escape
violence on-
up. But now they're all down there. I guess in seeing Tone, how far is he from me?
I got you. He's pretty
Sorry.
far. He's about 50 feet.
Okay, well, I'm 60 if I dash, so I'll dash to
Okay.
a point where I can not be right in the crystal's range. So he's 50, so can I go, like, right here?
Absolutely, you can. Yep.
Great.
Sarah goes. She like turns and looks back at you, Ryeth, and she sees you guys following, and she stops for a minute. Like, do you say anything?
Yeah, we're coming.
She like sees you say, "We're coming with you." Do you say?
I'm gonna be like, I'm coming with you. Lead the way.
And she like looks past you at the rest of this like motley crew coming, and she's like, "All right, fine, quickly, let's go." And with that, I know your turn comes next, Pose or Edgar, Shael. Is there anything in particular you want to do while you're up here alone?
Lay on hand. No, no. I'm probably just gonna end up catching up with everybody else.
Okay, and so with that, you come dashing down, and the lot of you come running up behind this like exotic-looking woman, Sarah, with her strange like kind of purple leather equipment and her billowing white hair. As you guys approach, and you can see she's got a thin sword at her belt and a whip curled up on the other hip. And all of you come up, and she's like looking from Ryeth to all of you, and she's just like, "Are you sure about them, Storm Sorcerer?"
Yeah, they're cool. They're really nice. Yeah, and the turtles are funny. She's pretty. He's charming. It's a great group.
And so her eyes kind of quickly glance from young Ryeth, Thunderbuck, to all of you moving in turn, and she's just like, "Don't make me regret this. Don't make me regret this."
We
And she
definitely
turns.
will.
Yeah, I'm
Kind of like
100%.
leads. And so with that, the 6 of you go charging across this field and duck into the cover of the woods around this clearing. And I think that's probably a good spot for our first break, right?
Nice.
Okay,
Rock on.
cool. That was super fun. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was
We
super fun.
got to kill a guy.
Yes! I got
killed
to
the guy.
kill 2 guys.
Duke-It's the first one out.
I want them to be
can't-
like a huge family. Like I want to kill all the Duke-It's.
Yeah.
Give me time.
Find me Grandma Duke-It. I'm killing her.
Grandma Duke-It, she's the worst Duke-It. You don't even
Oh,
know.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I will be right back.
Same.
Oh, that was awesome. That was a cool battle. I was worried, Tone, you were gonna like run away.
I was thinking about it. I'm trying to like balance my. I mean, it's very clear now that like we're together, but I still want to try to at least come across to some people like we're not in one big old group, because I feel like that's just going to make us more liable to get targeted.
It's a good
I'm
idea.
talking a bit about the strategy behind everything.
Big old group thing is interesting, considering I guess it's just like a escape or die scenario, but like being a big old group in a thing where everybody's supposed to be trying to kill each other puts us in like, has this been done before in these games? Has a
it's a
huge
good
ass
point.
group of people like been like, fuck it, we're not gonna kill each other, we're just gonna.
Actually,
Because-
I should probably say before we continue this, for all you guys watching, we're going to take a 10-minute break, bathroom break, snack break, whatever. We'll be back in 10 minutes, but we're going to be chit-chatting while we wait. So, yeah. But yeah, you're right, Shell, or Alan. God, I got to get out of it.
Yeah, out of game now.
Out of game now. It is crazy. Like, there's no incentive to not be a group, right? Because everyone who reaches the center can potentially win this thing. So, like, I'm
As
surprised.
far as we're aware, we
As far
don't
as
know
we're
what's going to get to center.
Correct. It could be like a duel to the
Lock
death.
door.
between all the
You
winners.
just spill the blood of anybody in 5 feet.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Or like only one can pass through the door.
Totally. You must kill each other before. Yeah. Yeah.
Very
totally.
very Saw-like.
Very Saw-like. So, Alan, what are you doing over on the game streaming? You've been playing a lot of PUBG?
Yeah, mainly just PUBG. You play with a couple of friends. Anybody really who wants to play and is okay with being on the stream, I'll play with.
How can people find your stream?
I'm over on Twitch at Captain Emo. Captain Emo, you know how the... Anyway. So Captain CPT_EMO. It's super easy. 6 characters, not hard to find. I have Twitter, which I think is linked in here. I'm not a very active Twitter person, so... but I do have a YouTube also, that I'm kind of just doing like stream highlights on for the most part. So like, okay, so I do a stream and I'll cut up a bunch of it and put it on a couple days later.
Sweet. And you're trying to stream what, at like 5 p.m. Pacific?
Yeah, 5 p.m. Pacific, 5 to 5:30, depending on what happens during the day. And then ending around 8:30. But yeah, it's really fun. Anybody who wants to come and hang out and watch, I'm like a new streamer, so I'm just trying to get used to all the things, but I'm, looking for people to watch.
What's the craziest thing you've seen in that game so far? Because so for those of you guys who, for some reason, don't know about PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds.
What, are you living under a rock?
Yeah, get out from under that rock.
Does Toaster provide you internet?
Get out from under your shell.
I don't know. I feel like not a lot of people know a lot about games nowadays that aren't under controversial news items for the microtransactions, which I'm assuming
Right.
PUBG has not committed that sin, right?
Haven't so much, but they are part of the loot box.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so there's that. But craziest thing, I gotta say, dude, driving in that game is so messed up. I have a couple of clips out there of like, we'll be like driving the trike, and you'll hit like a pixel, and the trike just kind of does front flips or just like goes crazy. It's ridiculous. But we got our DM over here. He's we call him Ridge Drifter because he's normally our driver.
I am the default driver. Basically, I'm just there to throw grenades, to catch bullets so that the better people can like aim at the people shooting at me and to drive the car. Like that. That's my job.
I've played Fortnite a bit, and I tried PlayerUnknown, and I'm just terrible. I have the worst aim of anybody in video games I've ever played with.
I am not a good shot. You'll see it. A potato could probably play the game better than me most of the time, but sometimes things happen, and it's just good.
That's what you should stream. You versus a potato.
For
real.
Okay, I'm gonna go grab a snack, and I'll be right back, guys. And Mike, Alan, if you want to take
excellent.
your break.
Yeah, you guys can step away.
Yeah, Rich, talk to yourself for about 2 minutes.
I will. I can vamp. I'm good like that. Yeah, so D&D. We have all kinds of like homebrew stuff going on. Those of you who are like paying attention to the granular elements, our resident cleric, Edgar Poke, worships 2 gods. And so he has access to a couple of different domains depending on like which one is giving them his favor per day. So you'll see him throwing around some atypical spells, and he's got a little more versatility than a normal cleric does, but it's pretty exciting stuff if you're a D&D nerd.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hello.
That went down really well, huh? I was
Yeah, that was really effective.
Yeah, man, I was scared. I was scared.
Me too.
Scared to death. Like, I'm so flimsy. If I don't get the first roll, it's bad, man.
I was worried for you on that pillar with him too, because when he beat you in initiative, I was like, he better fail that. I knew the thunder wave was coming, but I'm like, he better fail that saving throw.
Yeah. Well, if he didn't, I was gonna double down and do it again. My real strategy, what I was going to do, if I would have gone first, I would have thunder waved, knocked him off, bonus action, teleported, grabbed the stuff, and then teleported to Sarah. She'd be like, peace.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I did not
Grab
expect
Poe.
you guys to leave with her. That was interesting. That's a turn of events.
I didn't expect to leave with her. I just looking at her because you said like she's like the other one that's dressed as nicely as me. I'm like, I fucking hate her.
That's good. I love it. That's perfect.
Yeah, we were looking for something, you know. There's a lot going on here.
There's a lot of choices right in front of you, man. I just left you guys little breadcrumbs everywhere to see which ones you pick at, you know.
I'm very, very interested to see which way this goes. That's for sure.
Yeah, you and me both, believe me.
Well, I mean, I was kind of skeptical until the moment that you presented the gate and that I made that connection that it was a tree, right? Kind of brought all of that full circle to fruition. I was like, okay, I'm going to act on it then, you know? Yeah.
None of that means anything to me.
Yeah, it's cool. Later.
I had a lot of fun like thinking about how does this thing open up, right? Like there's so many ways to like dump you guys into a thing like this and to not make it like a nightmare melee with like literally 15 combatants like all going in one round. And so I thought that was fun and intimidating and interesting and a little different.
I was really scared at one point that Tone and Sarah were going to get caught in that thing and kill each other.
Me too.
That was why that was immediately like when I was like looking and I was like, can I see what's going on with Sarah and Tone? And like I make the connection of the other two being trapped off. And I was like, well, fuck everything else. I need to go make sure those two don't kill each other. That could definitely, like if he would have failed that persuasion check, you know, I feel like she would have been like, nah, I don't trust this con artist. He's dead. And that would have provided a lot of problems with what I'm trying to do now.
It's true. I'm glad. I'm intrigued to see what happens next. It should be interesting.
I like that almost all of the other characters' goals align pretty well. I don't know what yours is, but yours is the one that's like prevailing right now. You're the one that's like, no, this is.
I also found that funny. I mean, it kind of had to do quintessentially with Poe's position, right? If Poe wasn't standing right there, my thought process would have been totally different about the situation. But basically, the two people that I now have like relatively the most trust in, right, are like within eye shot of each other, and I'm like way over here. So for me, it was like, oh, well, yeah. Because I was actually the whole time the reason I was coming to you is I was going to teleport you and me out of there. It's like, oh, this just seems shitty, and they're all down there dying. Yeah. But.
Interesting.
Yeah, I wanted to get my thought process was try to get to a point where we can choose which direction we want to go. So let's get to the middle, powwow, see where we're gonna head, like quick powwow, you know, see where we're gonna head. But we got kind of pulled to the east or the right, whatever that is, yeah.
I'm into it. It's so strange playing on Roll20 compared to what I'm used to, because you could do so much with it, but at the same time, like it's limited, right? And I don't know. I always have an interesting time conceptualizing how using Roll20 changes like a session or the combat itself. It's interesting for me to think.
I don't know though, because like when those green lights showed up and they were trapped on that platform, like I don't think that there's a whole lot of other methods that would have scared me as much as seeing those two green lights on Roll20. I saw those and I was like, right? Oh no.
Yeah.
And then Tone started running down there and I was like, what are you doing?
He wanted to see how much damage they do. You always got to check the limitations of the damage. Will this one shot me? Somebody will heal me, I'm sure.
Right. Yeah, those crystals scared the crap out of me after they hit. I was like, okay, I have to avoid these at all costs. Like, do I go all the way around this huge thing, or can I cut through the center maybe?
It was especially bad because you took the fall damage first, right? Like all of a sudden you were down 30
just
HP.
fall off the platform for some reason.
You know, as a cleric, I know I can like heal things and myself pretty easily. So I was like not too worried about the fall damage there.
That's like a paramedic being like, I can drive without my seatbelt.
Right.
I can probably fix whatever's broken.
I'm sure it will hurt me eventually.
It seems as though you've been using your healing magic in your past to just kind of do things that people would be like, no, I don't need to be hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
He like jumps out of a plane without a parachute.
Yeah.
I'm young. Well, I got a shell. I can land on my
I'll meet you downstairs. We're on the 6th floor. Yeah, I'm going out the window.
Yeah.
It's faster.
Gravity will get me there.
Oh god. Okay, I think I think we're ready to get started with part 2 of episode 2 of the campaign.
We are indeed. So you guys go charging across this open field. As you glance around to your left and right, you see like the last dashes of some of your fellow competitors, like sliding into the woods on the far side of the clearing, past all the chaos behind you. Wound has like disappeared, and Dogan the Minotaur like tearing up the turf as he runs. You could see the last of the boars seem to be like congregating around one of the fallen bodies back there where you left. Alton Dukett's ruined form. Shael with his new sword and cloak clutched in his hand. The 5 of you, along with Sarah, this strange woman with this flowing white hair in her finery, vanish into the woods in your own large group as you do. And so the forest here is dense and old. Much of it is decayed and broken. There's all kinds of thick shrubbery on the ground and deep piles of old rotted leaves and fallen brush branches, brambles. You're pushing through all kinds of like plant life as you go through these thickets, pushing through the woods. And so you all go quietly for a time, not trading many words with each other, just trying to create distance between yourselves and this place of arrival where you came in. And you're kind of like all following Sarah. And at one point, finally, she stops, right? And just turns back at all of you, like, and she's breathing like heavily, all of you are, as you've been pushing yourself. And she's just like, well, she says, I don't know any better than any of you where we should go next. I'm open to taking thoughts. I was not expecting such a big ensemble, to be honest with you all.
Well, I mean, I thought you knew what we were doing. God.
Well, let's think about it this way. The goal is to get to the center, right?
Yes.
She like nods slowly.
What if the whole time the center was the center of the place we were just at? And
Right,
all you
like-
had to do...
Then I won, technically, so...
That's true.
Yeah, but you have to. Yeah, you have to leave the center. You can't stay in the center. Well, shit. I mean, we have no idea where we were in the thing. We should find an edge first, right? Like, who knows how big this is, but can we try and find an edge?
We're a big group. Do we want to think about dividing up a little bit, do some scouting, see what's in the area?
Have you never played the old game Goblins and People? Never divide the party.
Can't say I played Goblins and People. No, I was. I had a life. I went outside when I was a child. I was not in the basement of the taverns playing Goblins and People with who knows what.
It's not just in the taverns that people play it. We play it in castles as well.
See? Somebody knows what I'm talking about.
High five.
Ah!
If you're asking me where we should go, dudes, I remember what a wise man told me a long time ago. For small creatures such as we, the vastness is bearable only through love, guys.
What?
Does anyone else have any ideas?
I'm going to actually look at Shael and be like, can you translate that for me?
I don't. He's speaking like I don't know what's going like Red God. I don't know.
I'm gonna speak in primordial to Sarah, and be like, we should tell them about what we seek.
And so he starts like speaking again in this strange language. And she like frowns and she replies back to you in this language the rest of you don't understand. She says to you, Ryeth, like, who are they to you? You knew them not 2 days ago. I cannot trust them.
I'm gonna like side-eye at Tone right now while they're having this conversation.
Yeah, I'm gonna side-eye right back. I don't like
I'm gonna start fumbling through my my stuff. I don't have my book of elemental goodness with me because they took it. But I'm gonna be like, as
You're
they
speaking in another language and you start like fumbling around your person.
To her, yeah, looking for a book, and I'm like,
I'm gonna take out my rapier really slowly.
Oh,
Not
shit.
aim it at you, but just start to like, because I have no idea what you're saying.
I'm gonna
She
look
like
over to her
puts her
and be
hands
like,
up and takes a step back. Like, what's happening here? She says in common. Everybody calm down.
And I'll say,
I was just-
what could be said between you might as well be shared with the whole group.
Yeah, I don't.
Right?
Why are we keeping secrets if we're trying to save each other? That's all I'm saying.
Because I don't know if you're trying to save me. I don't know who any of you
I
are.
just want to live. You see all the years behind my belt? You can see it. I like shake my gut a little bit. You can see the years, okay? I want a couple more, damn it.
I don't know about you guys, but like I could use some food and water. You want to like maybe
You didn't
head
oh, you
somewhere
didn't.
and grab a bite?
We
all right, I'm just gonna tell Sarah and Primordial, like I'm telling them now, and then in common tell you guys. Sarah told me there's like some greater forces at work here going on, like some seeds of the creator, something down, something we need to free, and basically I signed a sheet code at school, and I kind of have to follow this pursuit. All cards are on the table. When Poe was sending to me the other night, he was saying he thinks that even if we do make it to the end of this, that you turtles are going to end up in slavery, and with I know that none of us have any ability to escape this, so maybe by seeking a greater power, we can get the hell out of here safely.
This is such a great episode of Survivor right now.
And so she's like exasperated, like rolling her eyes, like annoyed, frustrated as he's talking to you. And she like turns and looks at all of you like, I don't know where to find what I'm looking for, but I'm here for a mission. And if it costs me my life, then it's worth it. She says it's not on a whim that Chimerion does this year after year for centuries. And she like looks at you like almost sneering, Thinnea, and she's like, it's not just to entertain your people, the nobles, the commoners alike. It's not just for fun. She says there are powers that have been trapped in this place since before the dragons even came to Abrea. This tree, it's one of the first trees of the world. And there's an ancient guardian trapped somewhere in this place. I don't know where, like I said. But if we can find it, it might damn well be able to get us all out of here alive. And so if you want to live for a few more years, old turtle, and the rest of you want to keep your lives, and you're willing to help me, then I will try to get you out of here as best I can. If I live that long.
Sounds good to me, dudes. Like no one has a better plan than this.
So you have a destination that we don't know about, and you're asking us where to go?
I think what she might be asking is like if you guys can like detect magic or like find stuff, because I can't. Yeah. Sorry.
I could.
But not today, huh?
Yeah. I don't know if I can like help you today, guys. I can find traps and cure some things, but detecting magic, I'd have to sleep on that one.
She says that the other information that might be relevant for me and what I'm trying to do here. The woman Gita, she's a paladin of the green. She's a knight too. I don't know exactly who, but one of the lords of the Fey realms. And she's here seeking somebody who was sent in years ago and may still be alive. She says, from my words that I exchanged with her, it's possible that there's some circle of druids that still operate in this place, in hiding. And if we can find them, they can lead us to what I seek. They will know it, indisputably. It would likely be the main reason that they would choose to stay in such a place. I'm not sure where to start that or how. I have my ideas, but with so many of us, we have more options. So what do we think? Shall we rest for the night and make camp? Think? Plan?
I think we should get further away from the center.
Yeah.
How far away are we from the center right now?
Yeah, and if we move further away, that might... Dudes, if we move further away, like, that might take us further from our objective, too. I mean, I think it's a smart idea, but, you know, I'm just...
Further from our objective?
Gita, or this mystical, buried power goddess of some sort that you speak, guardian.
Right. I mean, no matter what direction we go, we don't necessarily know which way we're going. But I think we know not to go the direction we just came from.
You don't know. The Circle of Druids could operate from underneath the platforms.
Did anyone, like, see this Gita and, like, which way she left?
Yeah, I mean,
I saw her.
We're there. We saw them.
I
don't know if you remember, but she ran off in the same direction.
She nods. She says, the elf is perceptive. He's right. She went somewhere this way. It would be easier to find people. I have some magic that might be able to do that, but I agree with the young one. We should get further away before we settle anywhere. I know a bit about my way in the woods, but if anybody wants to help choose our path, I'm not in charge here. I don't want you to get the wrong idea.
I'll be at the head with her.
Don't worry, everybody. I'm a master woodsman, Tone Goodheart here.
Both of us are like pushing ourselves to the front.
All right, don't worry about it. Ooh, here we go. Time to shine. All right. I'll start sniffing the ground like I know what I'm talking about.
When he says master woodsman, I'll be like, do you need some help with the lay on hands?
Stop it, please. Use that cape to cover up whatever laying on hands you're going to be doing from now on, sir. Thank you.
So just as a matter of point, this is an opportunity if you guys wanted to take a short rest. Is that what we're going to do here? Do you want to burn hit dice or anything like that?
I'll bet you somebody could use that.
I will. Yeah, for sure.
Do you want to try to like attune to these items, Shael?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. All of the attuning.
As you sit and study, you guys like are talking for a bit, and Shael, like you're interchanging between like contributing to conversation and looking down at like looking over these things. And so after a time, you realize like this cloak is got enchantments of transmutation, and that in fact there is much more to it than it being just a simple cloak. And similarly, this sword that he has definitely is bound in magic. It's an enchanted blade. And so just for the sake of getting to the quick of things, the cloak is a cloak of the bat, and the sword is a dancing sword.
Ooh,
it dances.
What that means is, like, you can look up the items in the compendium if you'd like while we're sitting here. They're both in there, but you'll see them. Essentially, the sword, if you fight for it for a few rounds, you can like let go of it and it fights on its own. And the cloak can literally like turn someone into a bat.
Oh. I want them both.
So it's up to you. You're like sitting going over these items. Ryeth, you burn some hit dice. Anybody else want to burn hit dice, or we're good? Okay, so you two use your short rest. The rest of you are good. We're there for about like 20 minutes or half an hour talking as Shal's going over his stuff. And then you guys get up and you're going to begin pressing on through the woods. So at this point, anybody who is leading, you can go ahead and make a survival check. Who's going to lead? Thinnea and Tone, you guys are leading this crew?
Can I make a
Sorry, keep
going. I would say I don't know what I'm talking about, so I'll make a deception check to make it sound like I know what I'm talking about.
Okay, yeah, that sounds great.
That is a 10.
So yeah, Tone's like talking to you about like clearly the leeward side of the moss tree, southerly facing with the radial of the sun and magnetic field, and you guys are like, what the fuck is he talking about? Like, this is not a good plan. Like, we should not follow him. And so finally Sarah's like, this is ridiculous. Like, we can't follow him. This is not a good plan.
Wow. Okay. All right. How far are we going to get with that attitude, Missy?
I'm happy to let Sarah lead, but I want to be looking out for traps and things, since they mentioned that there would be traps.
I actually have find traps, so if you guys want me toward the front, I can... you know what? I'm not even going to say that. I'm just going to hang out toward the front while things are going on.
And are you casting find traps or no?
Not yet.
Okay.
I mean, wait, how does it... Okay. Yeah,
double check. Yeah, because I don't know the duration off the top of my head.
It's just instant, so I can only do it when we're actually like...
in an area.
It's like we walk up to the front door of a dungeon. Find traps!
Right. Precisely.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Okay, so with Sarah in the lead, she begins like picking her path, and you guys are following. Thinnea close behind. Thinnea, why don't you roll an investigation check as you go, and you're eyeing, looking for traps everywhere, watching the ground where she steps, looking for deadfalls and trip lines and pits. And sure enough, as you guys go, you're walking for about an hour or so, and it's thick and it's humid in here. It's very wet and damp. It's dark. And so the moisture kind of like hangs in the forest. It's hard for it to break out of the canopy. Not a lot of sun is bleeding through. And the crows are everywhere. They are this constant presence. Crows in the trees, crows up in the sky when you get a glimpse past the tree lines, nests of crows, crow feathers on the ground as you go. And you hear them kind of constantly cawing and cackling from the sky above. And so at one point, Thinnea, Sarah's moving forward, like kind of like boldly, and she like looks up at the air and kind of orients herself, turns back, and she's walking, not looking closely. And you could see in front of her is like a pit trap. There's clearly like a hole that she's definitively about to step into, and you see it. So my question then to you is, do you tell her or not?
I don't know. Yeah,
She's
but I'm
walking.
gonna make
stepping.
a big deal out of it. Like, I'm gonna mom arm her, and I'm gonna be like, "What are you doing, you fool?" And I'm gonna push her behind me, and then I'm gonna point at the trap, like, get it together.
And so you point at it, and she looks, and like it doesn't see it for a minute, and then she's like, "Oh, thank you very much. Like, your eyes, thank you."
Meanwhile, I'm gonna try to sneak a little bit of food out of one of the bags that someone's holding. I'm gonna try to feed the crows.
Okay, roll a sleight of hand. Are you like trying to like hide it from everyone?
Yeah, I want to befriend the crows.
Okay.
Who's
I know I ticked them off beforehand. That is a 22.
He beats everybody's crazy passive perceptions, even you guys with the high ones. I don't think you have 22s, do you?
I have a 20.
I have 21.
He got you, motherfucker. So, next thing you know, like you've got like you start like throwing out like some of these grapes, and you're breaking off chunks of bread, and like the crows are like landing down around you, and you could see Tone as they come like down, tentative at first, but the more food you start to throw out, the more brazen they grow, and they come close to you, flying down and like stepping up and getting bold now, kind of beginning to land around the trees. And like most of you guys aren't realizing it for the first few moments, but then you're like, oh, these crows, like what? And you can see Tone, like occasionally one of them turns and like looks at you sideways, and there's a glimmer of green behind those beady black eyes as you realize like many of these crows like carry enchantments, right? And as you feed them and look into their eyes, countless spectators are watching the handsome, tanned visage of Tone Goodheart as he cares for the native crows of this Desport arena.
Now it'll be like a confessional camel, sort of just look into the crow's eyes, and I said, I just want to make Chimerion proud. That's all I'm looking to do here. I'll protect these people, I'll look within the good of myself to make Chimerion truly happy with his gambit this year. So you keep watching. I can't wait to see what happens.
So you guys, like, at this point, one of you might catch, like, Tone monologuing to the crow, you know? And you just...
I just picture, like, I feel like Tone always has to have his hands like this. Like, anytime he
always
does, like, his hands just have to be frozen.
Yeah. It's like the Buddy Jesus. It's Buddy Tone.
Oh, exactly.
So Sarah, like, continues leading you for a way, and you guys find a few more pitfalls and trip lines as you move through these woods, and she's kind of, like, guiding you uncertainly, and there are points where you're moving quicker and then slower, and... Oops, not that.
No!
Oh God, we're back here.
We're back!
You walk in a circle.
One big circle.
Some Lost Woods ass shit.
I will allow you guys to, like, orient yourselves in your order as you see fit.
I'll be
After a time,
in the back.
you break out upon a path. And it's not, like, well worn or anything like that. It's a bit of a game path. And as you guys are walking through it, you can see, like, oh, this almost looks like dry riverbed at parts of it as you're going. And Sarah with you out in front. And so you guys are, like, you're moving along through the woods, and now it's started to open up a little bit. There's not nearly as much undergrowth tying you up as you move. And as you come, like, slipping, like, through this dry riverbed, and Sarah's saying, like, this bodes well. We should be able to find somewhere that will give us some shelter before darkness falls. And just as you're, like, over here, you guys hear a sound of, like, tree branches crashing and the stomping underfoot of, like, leaves being crushed and twigs snapping and whatnot. And out of the side of the woods comes this massive, hulking form. You see first, like, just like the lightness of its shade, almost like white, tan colored. And then, like, it breaks out from the undergrowth, and you could see it down here on the trail to the south of you, standing massive in the way. Hold on one second. Right here. It steps down into the trail looking up and gets a good look at you, Thinnea, and you look back and now, like, see it in its full form. With these massive curling horns rolling out of its head, adorned in this necklace of human skulls. And literally where its hands should be are this massive, vicious, ferocious looking axe in one arm, and the other just holds this huge square kind of sword of steel jammed into the end of its stumped out wrist, with the skulls adorned on both, and its claws, like, digging into the dirt. As it turns and, like, steps out, it, like, glances over at you like, you are in my forest now. And then, surprisingly, you hear a scream from further down the trail, a mad, furious scream. And you guys see, charging out of, like, the undergrowth from behind, here comes the orc. It's like holding this arch in his hand, like, blasting, charging down the path, and you hear him scream at the top of his lungs, I see you, Kurg Fellhand! This axe is mine now! Rah! And he's, like, screaming mad, charging down the path from behind. Let's roll initiative.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Do we just let them attack each other?
I don't know. What will you do?
21.
11.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
Yeah.
Okay. Bear with me 1 second. Sorry, I'm jumping.
There's a bear now?
Yeah.
Bugbear.
These guys look formidable.
Nah, what?
I hope
Look,
they kill each other.
That's the plan, but we're gonna help the one kill the other.
Oh.
And then we'll just kill
I
the.
said we do something
the
a la
axe.
the Hobbit, where you hide in a bush and you pretend to talk as the other person, so they really rile each other up.
Yeah, we don't have a bard. That would have been perfect.
We could. The Turtles could come up with a switcheroo thing, like, you know, you get one cam of me being like, "We don't want it," and then you know, next cam is Edgar.
Yeah. Dude, no, I can't do this.
But we need it.
But if I like give it away, then like I'm totally screwed.
Shell, you're up first. You see like this massive thing standing in front of the stone archway here, looking at you guys, and then you hear the scream of Wound, and you see him like jump out into the path behind it and start like rushing, and the thing like turns, looking back at him like clang, clang, and starts like smashing together this axe and sword jammed on the end of its hands. Shell, you're up. What do you want to do?
That's a good question. Hold on. I still haven't like this whole dancing sword nonsense. Oh, I can use.
It's a bonus action. That's cool.
So then, okay. So that okay. So I'm gonna move to Thinnea, right?
Mhm.
I'm gonna throw the dancing sword up, and I haven't come up with a command word yet. We'll figure out what it is later. And then
Turtle power.
Turtle power.
The command word is actually etched on the hilt. This is how we
is it?
discovered what it is.
Ooh.
Yes, and the command word is actually, it's an elven word. It's an elf-made sword, and it's the
Hello.
elven word for music.
which I'll figure out what that is later. I'm gonna say music. Music. Let the music move you. So I'm gonna throw this sword up in the air, and then in classic Shell fashion, lightsaber my packed sword out, and just stand at this guy. Oh, fuck you. But I think doesn't the dancing sword get to attack right then? I don't know. Oh no, I have to use bonus. Yeah, bonus action. Okay, to attack with it. So that's it. Now there's a sword and me.
Okay, and you step up right next to this thing. Thinnea, you're up.
Okay. So since I told Wound I would help him, I will. I'll try to hide behind Sarah. Oh wait, no, I don't have to do that because
There's
Shell is
plenty
right
of
there.
shit to hide around too now. Like you have all kinds.
I
of
just want that
terrain and
sneak
stuff.
bonus.
Yep. I know.
So I'll short bow from where I am.
Okay, you bring up the
17?
bow, firing off a shot. 17 just hits.
Yes.
Oh, boy. That's
The arrow
probably.
sinks into
Yeah.
the hide of it. It's pretty hairy. 8 points of damage plus
16 total.
16 total. So you send an arrow like a laser mark right over in between Shael and his dancing sword, and it's able to sink into the hide of this big hulking beast that is Kurg Fellhand. And he grimaces the tiniest bit and glances, his eyes connecting with you before they refocus on the turtle in front of him. That's your turn. You want to move or anything like that?
No, I'm going to stay still, but I'm going to use my Master of Tactics help action for Wound. So I guess I'll make loud noises when Wound goes to attack.
Yeah, I think the idea, right, is like you're like directing, right? You're like the master plotter or whatever. And so, yeah, okay. You're gonna start like throwing words at him. Master of Tactics. There we go. You can use the help action as a bonus action. Cool. Okay, cool. That's your turn, Poe. You're up.
So I turn to Ryeth and I just say, dude, do you have anything like good in that little medicine pouch of yours? And yeah, that's my turn.
Okay. He like turns and asks you this question. And so Sarah goes,
Yes.
she's just like, what in the wild winds are we doing here? Why are we getting mixed up in this? I thought we had a plan. And she's like looking to you, Ryeth, like, what's going on?
I don't know. I was just gonna run. This is not our battle.
You and me both. And so she like steps up to here, and then let's see, you're over there, Shael, and she just like sighs like, and we'll cast Bless. Excuse me, sorry. She casts Bless on 3 creatures, which will be her, Thinnea, and Ryeth. So you guys now will have a D4 on attack rolls or saving throws for the next 1 minute.
Cool.
Ryeth, you're up.
I'm gonna turn to everyone else and just reiterate and be like, "What are you guys doing? Are you bloodthirsty? Like, you want to fight those two? Let's get the fuck out of here." And I'll move closer to Sarah. She seems like the most sensible person I've met yet, and probably the closest to anything I can like relate to. And be like, "Well, but we have to like help our turtle friends who keep jumping into danger." And if I had a diamond, this would be much easier. I'll cast, fuck, man. 2 Eldritch Blasts at him.
Okay.
This is a
15 misses.
Do I? And I can add 1 D4. Correct?
1d4, yeah, you sure can. Which hits.
Nice.
Yes.
So this first like black like line of force crackles off of the Storm Sorcerer's finger, arcing over Shael, smashing into the spell hand.
Yeah.
Right.
20. The second one hits him square in the face. Roll some damage. Oh, anticlimactic. It still like shatters right into his face, and he's now like he seems like pissed and distracted. That's your movement, your action. What else you got, Ryeth?
That's what I got for right now.
Okay, cool. Tone, you up.
Yeah, Tone does not have nearly as much sympathy as everyone else towards this situation. While everyone else is fighting, he is going to sneak behind these trees and hang out.
Okay. You could roll stealth if you'd like, if you're like actively
Sure.
hiding. Okay.
Yep, I am actively hiding. There is no reason for me to be out there.
Okay, got it.
I have no loyalty to anyone here. That is a 16.
That's
Do
not
I
true.
see him hiding?
Okay.
Like, do I know where he is? Since I was right next to him and watched him do that.
Well, you watched him go back there, but then he goes in the hide. Roll like a perception check.
Okay.
Does it help
Or
if I
guess it
have
beats-
this?
Your passive is higher, so
Yeah, and I also have this
Like-
Mask of the Wild thing. I don't know if that helps too.
that lets you actually like just hide. Like in other words, if he were watching you, you wouldn't be able to hide from him, but you can in foliage. You could just pull like some elf moves and like, right. So yes, you see where he is. You like saw where he went. And he's not like out of your sight. You can see him. Okay. Kurg Fellhand goes. He turns like looking down at you like cling, and like smashes the axe into the sword, and then he swings first at the sword for you, Shael. 22
Yep.
hits you for 12. And now the axe.
This is the axe, right?
Yeah, the eggs.
Oh,
Mhm.
jeez. 26.
Holy shit.
This is why you don't do these things.
I rolled really high there.
Oh my gosh, my saves.
Oh.
Poor bastard. 16 points of damage, 10 slashing, 6 fire. So it's 28 altogether as this thing like hammers into you. First, the sword just like hits you square on your shell, man. You like roll around into it and it comes down on your back, and your back is sore. It hurt. He is strong. And then the second attack with like the axe, like you can smell like flesh searing as
Thought
like
he was fighting wound.
like Wound's not there yet. So, he doesn't give a fuck, man. He seems to be fighting everybody. And then he cleaves into you with the axe, like burning you pretty badly on that one. Wait a minute. Wound never made it on my initiative list. Wound, where are you?
Oh, no.
What a failure. What a failure. Okay, hold on 1 second. He'll just go at the end of the round. Okay, Wound goes on the bottom of the count here after that guy.
See, Wound would have gone faster than... Oh.
I know. Sorry, but still, that's life. You're a PC.
It's true.
Wound comes charging up. He is raging now. And... Yep. He's a raging... And so he's going to take one attack wildly. Reckless attack. He has advantage on it. 21 hits for 11 points of damage as he comes charging in and cleaves into Fellhand from the other side. Okay, cool. That's Wound's turn. Shael, you are up.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and use my bonus action to have the dancing sword hit.
Nice.
This actually... Now, what I don't understand is it says the sword uses your attack roll and ability score modifier to damage rolls. What...
Like, in other words, it's as if you were doing damage, right? So you get to, like, just roll the attack as though it were your longsword.
Okay.
Just your longsword. The only difference is going to be -1 because your longsword gets the magic bonus on it from improved weapon, right? Improved pack weapon. But
wait, it didn't roll any dice. It just hit. It just did the +3. I pulled it out of the.
Yeah, set it to a D8 for longsword because it can be changed to anything. So it should be an 8-sided die.
Let's try this now. There we go.
There you go.
That's a better trade.
Cool.
Oh, you rolled an 8. That's awesome.
Yeah. Max slap. And then I'm gonna. Gosh. Hold on. I didn't want to be this dead. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna hit this man.
Is Wound
Best way-
flanking? Oh, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He is now. Yes, he is.
Woo!
Yes.
And I'm just gonna burn the spell slot because fuck this guy. Nope, that's dang it. Divine Smite was at the end. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
was it?
For 6+.
Here we
The
go.
Divine Smite for 10 is 16. Okay, got it. And how much did the dancing sword do at the end of the day?
11. So 27. Hit this man as hard as he hit me.
This sword is like just dancing in the air, slashing at this guy next to Shael, and he brings down this gleaming, watery packed blade summoned through the power of the Leviathan, carving into like this massive creature's flesh. And he looks pretty banged up at this point. That's all your action, Shael?
Yeah, that's all of the things.
Your non-movement. Thinnea, you are up.
Okay, great. I am just going to short bow again.
13 misses. Wait, no, you don't have advantage technically. 13, it just like hits him and deflects off like his tough hide. It's a glancing blow, and you see the arrow like scatter off of him. Movement bonus action.
I don't want to get near him.
No, I don't blame you.
I guess I'll use my Master of Tactics again. So I'll help Wound again.
Oh,
Actually, I'll help Shael this time now that Wound is up there.
Okay, so what do? You just start yelling to Shael, like, he's open down low, like, aim low. Like
Shael's going to listen to me.
Master Tactician.
That's not so good at
okay.
hearing nowadays.
That's Thinea's
What?
turn. Poe. Exactly. Poe, you're up.
So I like glance at all the craziness going on and then over a tone and then back at the craziness and then over a tone. And I just walk over to Tone and I'm like, these guys are crazy, man. And hang out next to the tree.
Okay.
Well,
that's an option. Sarah looks at you, Ryeth, like, who are these assholes you got me wrapped up with? Where are they going? As they're walking like away. And then she like turns like, she seems like really, really uncertain what to do here. And so she will default to what she does. She proceeds to like come running up and touch you from behind, Shell. And you hear her like whispering prayers. You hear her like whispering a prayer to the wind, and life flows back through you. You gain 10 hit points back as she casts Cure Light Wounds on you.
Yeah. She was a good lady to pick up.
Yeah, how nice of her.
Okay, now
Especially since our cleric just ran away.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, we're gonna bring some attention to that.
You guys are down 2 party members. Ryeth, from behind you, you hear sound of like, it's a familiar sound, and it's comforting at first. It's the sound that a tree makes when the wind blows against it, and it creaks and groans, bending in the wind. And so you hear this like groaning and creaking of wood. And like you turn like, but I don't feel any wind. And then you see like stepping out from the actual like trunk of the tree, this like squat little like 5 foot tall, it looks like just a wooden man made of logs with log arms and log legs, holding like a wooden shield and a club, and it's like stalking just like vigilantly towards you. It takes like 1 step out of the tree and is like right on top of you, and proceeds to like wildly swing this club that it's got in its hand at you.
Oh no.
17
That hits.
for 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Getting picked
And
on
it takes
today.
a second swing at you.
Kid, picked on?
14, which you still have mage armor up.
I do. So 14 does not hit.
Okay, so the first hit's like whoo, crack, and just like smashes into you from behind, man. Your shoulder like buckles. You feel like the bruising welling up on your back, and like you turn at it as it's coming, and it takes the second swing, and it looks like it's right about to hit you in the face, and you feel like the abjuration magic just like slow the thing, and the shield of the mage armor like blocks it. Just it does not connect. And standing in front of you is a creature which you probably more than the others might have heard of in your life, a woodwode, the guardians of the forest. That's its turn. Ryeth, you're up.
Woodwood?
Fuck. This puts a wrench in things. So I'm going to look around, and be like, where the fuck are the monk and the cleric and the I'm going to... I can move, attack, and move again, right?
Of course.
Okay. So
It will take an attack of opportunity if you step away out of its range.
I'm not going to step away from its range.
Okay.
I just don't want to hurt Thinnea. So, I'm going to step over to here. So that's 5 feet, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to cast Thunder Wave.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Fuck, I don't want to attack it, but no, I'm not going to attack Thunder Wave. Yeah, I need to. I'm going to use Thunder Wave because I know what it is, but it's attacking me, man, and it's going to continue.
Oh, it is.
to
It definitely seems like ready to batter you into the ground.
Need its master. Can I be like, we come in peace and primordial to it?
Sure.
Well?
Yeah.
I say that.
See it bringing the club back up.
Okay. Okay.
Does not respond to peace offerings.
Yeah, sorry, bro.
Con save. 6. It fails. You guys hear it again, the rolling explosion of thunder as the appropriately named Thunderbuck blasts this wood backwards away for 14 points of damage. Got it?
Cool. I still have 25 feet of movement.
You sure do. You can
Come-
measure from the box in front of you too, right?
Okay,
Like,
cool.
measures.
I'm gonna come right up next to Sarah. I'm going to use Quicken Spell,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna cast invisibility at level 3 and turn her and I invisible.
Oh, wow. You burn the 3rd level slot, so you both become invisible. Okay. Excellent. Well played. That's Ryeth's turn. Tom Goodheart, you're up.
I mean, man, I mean, I do not believe in a higher power, but I truly do believe whatever your power is invested in, man, that is really giving you a new attitude. All the power to you, man. I'm all for positive thinking. I'll use my action to feed the crows some grapes.
Crows are like swarming over here.
This really might be TPK Games today, guys.
It won't be
So
TPK
excited.
because half of the party will just leave.
Yeah, right. They're
Oh, they're dead. I guess we're out.
They're not getting K'd tonight. Okay. The mighty monstrous beast that is Kirk Fellhead, as Tone is like conversing with the spectators through the crows, feeding them happily. Kirk like rotates like one at each of you, and it slashes out at the sword with you, Shal, and then the axe for Wound. 26, that hits you, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, friend.
Woo!
14 points of damage, and then
Big
he
dice.
hits Wound as well. Just be glad you didn't take that one.
Yeah.
For 21, I'm going to roll a con save because he's got a monster con save. Yes. Okay, cool.
Oof.
So Kurg, like, whoosh, chop, just cleaves into you, and you feel like your shell, like, crack as he hits it.
Oh.
Like, oh my god, that was not good. And then he, like, lashes out at the axe with Wound, who's, like, dancing around on the edge of him, and he carves down into him pretty bad.
When he swings at Wound, I'm going to use my Sentinel to take an attack of opportunity on Kirk.
Fuck yes. 1.
Oh, well, no advantage,
Oh.
11, but
Wait,
still.
can he use
Oh, yeah, you
the...
have it.
Oh, and I have but the die's not going to get me over 17.
Yeah, you don't actually have Bless. Thinnea and Ryeth did, and you have advantage from her help, so that's 11, but it still misses. You just like smash, you swing the sword like, tunk, and it like hits his skin and just is not able to cut through like his leathery, twisted undead hide or whatever it is. And he turns like looking back at you, smiling with this hideous maw. Okay, with that.
Oh, I could just kiss you.
You hear the sound of the trees creaking again as one appears here, and you homeboys up here stepping at the tree.
Yes!
They're all excited. Oh my god, what's happening to this party?
I know, man. I feel abandoned. I don't know.
This one comes like stalking over towards you, poor Thinnea, and takes a swing at you with this club. First attack, second attack. 24 and 17.
Both hit, and I'll use my uncanny dodge for the first one.
Okay, so the first one you take 7 points of damage.
Okay.
And the second you take 11.
Okay.
This one here steps out of the tree next to you guys, and it's going to take one swing at each of you. So for Tone, 17.
That is a miss.
And for Poe, 19.
My AC is 19.
Hits. You go to pull the shield up, and he connects with the shield and just like drives it back. The top of the shield like cracks into your nose for 11 points of bludgeoning damage. That's their turns. Wound goes. Wound is just like, and he unloads with his Bardage. hit and miss.
No hit. He's got advantage.
Oh yeah, he sure does.
Flanking.
Thank you. 22 plus 4 is 26 points of damage. He just double cleaves into this thing. Rip, chop, and then like sideways against his hip. Kurg looks pretty fucked up now. This big guy that's like standing here looks like quite hurt. Okay. That's him. Shael, you're up.
Fantastic. The dancing sword is gonna swing at him.
Got it. Misses.
Of course it does. And then I will swing at him with a 21 to hit.
That hits solidly. You drive the pack blade like straight into his hip.
Hope for the pain.
Pain
6, 8, 9.
Engaged. Okay, cool. That's your attack. You use your bonus action. You're not moving, right?
No, I'm feeling good here, I guess.
Thinnea, you're up. Okay, good.
Okay. I'm gonna use my cunning action to disengage
Okay.
this guy, and I'm gonna move away from him. I'm just gonna go over here. And then I am he's still up, so I'm gonna short bow.
Okay, at Kurg.
Yes.
Okay.
21.
It's 18. Holy shit.
Yes.
Thinnea Hallowwhisper. You send another arrow of death streaking as you dance away from this wood, and it drives like straight into Kurg's temple underneath one of the helmets, and you see him just like cartwheel to the side and crash into the hill, like collapsing down in a heap on the ground.
Nice.
Dude, you
We
are
did it. We all did it
destroying-
together. We all killed him.
Have fun with your tree, bitches.
That's Thinnea. Poe, you're up.
Oh, and I'll say to Woon, I've done my part.
He like nods. He gives you like a look, like, you know, this is all happening very quickly, but he's like nodding at you from afar.
So, interesting situation we've got going on here. I'll say to Tone, dude, are you like feeding these things? And then I'll reach out for the little wood guy and call up to Deimos and Phobos and say, inflict the wounds of my friends upon this wood creature, and cast inflict wounds.
Nicely
17.
done. And so you like reach out with your empty hand and grab the wood, like roll damage.
At first level, 18
Fuck
points
yeah,
of damage.
Nice.
Fuck yeah, well done. And you see it like part of it like dries. Some of like the bark begins like flaking and falling off as you just like infuse this necrotic energy of death into this living creature, and it falters a little bit. So that's your action, bonus action.
And then I'll turn around, or
Every now and then I get a little...
Run from the tree.
and you know what? Never mind. I'll end my turn there, and say to Tone,
Okay.
please stop beating these things.
They're not the things I'm feeding.
Okay. Sarah goes, she is going to, God, she's invisible, and she's just like, I don't mean to be ungrateful, sorcerer, but she is going to cast Cure Wounds again on Shael, because you look pretty fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, I've looked better in my day, but you can't really tell nowadays. You know, it's all looking pretty fucked up.
She's going to give you a higher level cure wounds for 16 points.
What a nice lady.
And she then becomes visible again as the invisibility like fades off of her. She reappears and begins like to reposition. She moves over to here. Okay, that's her turn. This one goes. It's going to keep shuffling sideways. It's coming at you guys over here in the corner.
Yes.
And actually it's going to step in here. So he's like flanking you, poor Poe. And he takes 2 attacks with his club as he steps in from behind you. 16 and 24.
24
so 16
hits.
misses, 24 hits for 19 points of bludgeoning damage as this thing's like crack, and you feel like this just impact on your skull, man. Blood like is running down the side of your head. This thing like cracked you right in the back of the skull with that club as hard as you've been hit in the head before. Ryeth, Thunderbuck, you're up. Invisible and up.
Cool. I can speak while I'm invisible, right?
Sure.
So first, I'm going to head off in the direction that the Woodwoes came from.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to move to here, right? And then I'm going to shout out in Primordial, "Call off your minions, we come in peace! Call off your minions, we come in peace!" Sorry.
Nothing seems to be responding, so you still have your action. I just want to make sure you could use it if you want.
No, I don't.
Okay. Was that a map thing, John?
You read my mind.
Okay, yeah, my bad. I thought about it after I got off with you last night. Won't happen again. Okay, so you're not going to do anything else then. Tone, you're up.
I'm going to unsheath my katana, and I'm going to chop some wood, baby.
Welcome.
I'll come out when I'm needed. 18.
18 hits.
For two-handed, doesn't matter. 6 points of damage.
Okay, we're always just going to assume you're going two-handed unless you say otherwise, right? Like,
awesome.
That's safe. Okay. So with your two hands, chop, and you take a chunk out, man, and you guys can see as like Tone's hitting it. This is like an important note that like, yeah, slashing weapons are probably the most effective thing to use against these guys. You have a second attack, Tone, Goodheart, because you're 5th level.
And I'm gonna do it again.
Okay.
That is
Critical.
Yes.
He doesn't deserve it, but woo!
that is 21 points of damage.
Yes.
Okay, with the second attack, you just cleave into this thing and take like a chunk out of its midsection. Like you are in fact a lumberjack, man. It's pretty incredible. That's your 2 attacks. You know, have a bonus action and key points and all that good stuff. So anything else?
It isn't down yet, though?
Nope.
Cool. Then I'm going to use Flurry of Blows.
Okay, and this is an important note that I think we've been just worth reminding because this is the first time we're doing it. Whenever you use Flurry of Blows, you have those other effects that automatically come in because your open hand technique. Okay, cool.
Perfect. I was just about to say, yeah. So channeling the open hand technique, if I succeed on Flurry of Blows, it must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or be knocked prone.
Or
actually,
you choose. Or you can throw
you know what?
it.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure... No, you know what? It must make a strength saving throw. If it fails, I can push it up to 15 feet away from me.
Okay, so the first attack from Flurry of Blows.
That is a
Critical fail.
Ooh, that is a 9, baby.
You like snap out with the punch and are like crack. You take 1 point of damage as your knuckles connect with this thing and are like, oh, it's made of wood.
Yeah, stupid for punching wood.
Second Flurry of
mistakes.
Blows attack.
Let's do it again.
Hell
19.
yeah, that's more
There
like
we
it.
go.
19, it's going to make a strength saving throw to avoid being pushed back. It made its saving throw, but you do roll damage. Okay,
7.
got it. And you can see, like, unfortunately, the bludgeoning damage is just not as effective against these things that are made of wood. Like the sword, the slashing, good. Bludgeoning, not as great. That's on Goodheart's turn. Kurg is down. This Woodwode goes. 1, 2. She's closer. It steps in on her and makes a pair of attacks because it's a jerk. Hit and a wild miss. Quite lucky for her. Okay, cool. The Woodwode steps up to Sarah, who's now like visible, standing up on this like knoll, and it just crashes into her ribs with the club. Last Woodwode goes. This one is the one in front of you, Tone, and it just unloads both attacks at you.
I am stopping one with my shield of the faithful reaction from hurting Tone.
Okay, so the first one, it's at disadvantage. 16, Tone, does that hit?
That misses.
22 hits, though, right?
That hits. Yep.
Okay, and so with that, 13 points of bludgeoning damage from the second attack. As Edgar like throws his shield in the way, and the first one's like deflected, you duck low under it, and the second one just connects solidly with you in your leg. He hits you down low, like in the shin. Crack! Oh! Wound goes. Wound literally like steps up next to you, and you see him with his foot shell. He like kicks the hand that had the axe like over so it falls sideways, and then he lifts his own bardage and just like brings it down in this huge cleaving blow as he's starting to cut the axe off Kurg's arm. Shael, you're up.
Well, I'm gonna look at Kurg and Wound and be like, yeah, that'll make a fine trophy. And then I walk over here and I start smacking this tree. and the dancing sword is gonna also follow and make a swing.
Okay. 24 hits.
I want the dancing sword to go to the other side, so I have advantage. It can move 30 feet.
Oh, fuck yeah. So it crits.
Nice.
The dancing sword just like cleaves as you chop into this guy. Roll some damage up.
That's the long sword. There's the dancing sword.
Okay.
16.
For 16 altogether, you your two swords cleave into this thing and wood flies from it. Excellent. Well done.
Huzzah.
That's Shael's turn. Thinnea, you're up.
It's still up. The one that attacked me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I will. I'll hide on my side, or I'll try to hide.
Mm-hmm. There's plenty of places to try to hide. Okay. It sees you. It's got eyes on you. As you like duck behind this thing, you get down low, but the white dress is working against you in the environment. You could see it still like knows where you are, but you still
Don't
get your
take
attack.
this out on the dress. That's not fair.
I know it's not fair. I'm sorry. I'll never do it again until next week. 16 does hit.
Okay, good.
For 7, you still get sneak attack because he's there with it. Yep, 19.
Nice.
Got it. Excellent.
Is it dead yet?
Nope.
Oh, it's a tree.
And also, all of my weapons are piercing damage.
I know. It's pretty rough. Okay, you sink an arrow into it, thunk, and it just like stays there, like quivering in the end of it. Movement, anything like that?
Nope, I'm good over here.
Poe, you're up.
Okay. First, I'm going to call up to my gods and say, heal us all, and cast mass healing word on everybody in the party at third level. Yep,
You can get Thinnea at 60 feet. Yep. Cool.
Nice.
So everyone gets 8 points of healing.
Thank you.
Is that
Poe.
including Sarah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I get 6. So it's all of us plus her. And then I am going to drop. No, wait. I am not. Do I have like a good bonus action? I don't know if I do. Give me a second. I will drop Shield of Faith on myself. So I'll call up to my gods and ask them to protect me from more damage.
Oh, you're casting it on yourself. You said drop, and I was like, wait, you had it up? Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
No, I'm casting it on myself.
Got it. I'm with you.
And I will end my turn.
Okay, you raise up the Shield of Faith on yourself.
But I better roll my deity die.
Bobo's protecting you.
So I get a Deimos, and I'm sliding onto the Deimos side of the scale.
So you just neutraled out, right? Okay.
No.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, sure.
Okay, I got you. You cast this mass healing word, calling to your gods to conjure healing magic for your allies, which it does. Sarah goes. She looks pretty exasperated, and she like snaps out to you like, "Fire! We must burn them with fire." And then she proceeds to cast shit. She doesn't have a hell of a lot either. Inflict wounds herself. She reaches out to touch this thing with advantage because you're flanking. Hits. Come on, roll 20. You got it. 23 points of necrotic damage. But it's pretty fucked up. Okay, cool. She's like stepped around to there next to the dancing sword. It goes, this one here in front of you. Here's the problem, Edgar. You see its bark healing. You see some of like the cuts and the battering and the chopping starting to like regenerate as its turn comes up. It takes 2 swings with you at advantage. You have +2 to AC from Shield of Faith. 23 and 18.
Well, only one hits, but fuck.
23 hits, right, for 11 points of bludgeoning damage. As it pummels you again with this like brutal club. Ryeth, Thunderbuck, you are up.
I'm gonna try again to yell out in Primordial, just like, call off your minions. We're here in peace.
I think we're past that.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna blast the one in front of Sarah.
I'm here in peace.
Hits.
Is it still
Okay.
up?
Yep.
Okay.
It looks pretty fucked up.
Woo!
There we go. 20! That one knocks it over.
Yay.
And I'm not visible.
The second Eldritch Bolt hits it, and it just falls like straight over. Thud to the ground. That's your action. Movement bonus action.
Yeah, I'm gonna move closer to my friends.
Notice he said friends and then came this way.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
It was
Me and you
noticed.
since the beginning, bro. I don't know if you picked up on it.
Tone Goodheart, you are up.
I'm gonna keep cutting.
Yeah,
is
dude,
a-
work.
Nope, that's not good.
Critical one it is. You like hammer it. I won't take the sword away from you this turn, but it's just like it like smacks the sword out of the way. You can still have your second attack.
Sure, why not? 27. That's a lot better.
hits. Yeah, it sure is.
For 13.
Got it. 51, 61, and bonus action.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna take those Fists of Fury and try again. Go for a flurry of blows, with
Okay,
hopefully pushing it 15 feet away from me.
Okay. So first flurry of blows attack. Boom. It rolls a strength save.
21.
He makes it saving throw, but it takes damage.
Takes 10.
Okay. Second flurry of blows attack.
Christ, this thing is taking so much damage.
They have a lot of hit
Nope,
points.
stuck.
Yeah, that's why I keep trying to peel.
One hand is much better than the other at punching wood, it seems.
It sure is. That was a whole bunch of critical ones, but that's okay. Tone, those are your attacks. 9. This thing here that went down in front of you guys, you see its wounds healing, and it gets back up.
How
Let's get out of here.
It looks pretty fucked up. It still looks like very battered and hurt. It's on the ground. It like drags itself up from prone and takes a swing at you, Ryeth. 17.
Hits.
And then one at Sarah for 15 points of damage, Ryeth.
What type of damage are they dealing?
Bludgeoning.
Okay.
And then
So
it's
15.
Oh,
and
when it swings at Ryeth, I use my reaction to swing at it.
Nice.
okay, Sentinel 20.
Back in the dirt.
11. It goes right back down. Yep.
Yeah.
And so Sarah's like, we have to burn them, fire, fire. She's like yelling loudly. All of you can hear her now. Fire, or they'll keep healing. They're like trolls.
I don't got no fire.
I don't think any of us have fire.
I have fire.
We've got tinder boxes.
Yeah,
You could start a fire.
Okay.
True. The one in front of you, Ton, that keeps not getting knocked away, it looks banged up, man. The thing is like not doing well whatsoever. 18, does that hit?
It is.
Wait. I
Okay.
use my reaction there for him.
Okay. Edgar throws his shield in the way of this attack and blocks it. Crack! The club smashing into the steel of his shield. Second attack, 10 misses wildly.
Mhm.
As Tone, you dance lightly out of the way of it. At this point, Wound goes, and you see him just like stomp his foot down and reach up like... And you guys hear this wrenching, tearing, ripping of sinew and bone. And you see him lift this massive axe that he's cut from the arg of Kurg Fellhand. And he's just like, Chimerians blessed me good this day. Good luck, Total. Fight well. And he like turns and takes off running to the south.
Come hit the tree. You've got the fire axe.
He gives 0 fucks about you and your trees. Sha'el GreyThorne, you are up.
Whew, this man. Whew. I'll remember that later. So I'll use my bonus action to move the it can't go more than 30 feet away from me, but I want to move the sword here, right there, next to Edgar, yeah, and have it attack the one that Tone has been beating up.
Oh, it's advantage too.
It does. Flanking. 24 hits.
Woohoo!
Oh gosh. It looks
4
pretty
damage.
Barely.
And then, so that's the 4th hit that it's done, so it comes back to me. And then I'm going to start lighting this one on fire with my tinderbox.
Oh, okay. So that's your bonus action, and then with your action, you just like pour oil on this thing and set it on fire, or you don't even pour oil. You're just using your tinderbox.
Yeah, I'm like over here making a fire under this thing.
Okay, cool. Roll. Do you have survival?
I do.
Roll survival check.
20
Fuck yeah.
total.
You
Yeah.
proceed to start like sparking. You've dragged up like leaves and twigs, and it just like, and there's a catch, and it like begins to smoke and smolder and writhe, like making all these like terrible sounds. That
Fire in the west.
Thinnea, you're up.
How do we feel about lighting arrows on fire?
Yeah, sure. You have like a vial of oil. I'll say that like, you could use your action to light a couple of arrows on fire this round and then have them for the subsequent rounds. Is that cool? That's a
How
tough
about
call.
a bonus action?
It's a tough call.
Yes.
Like, I would say there's a few things you could do. You could throw a vial of oil this round and then, like, you could light, I guess, an arrow on fire, one with the bonus action, but you won't be able to, like, keep doing that every round, right?
Yeah. Do I have an attack for a bonus action?
If you fought with 2 weapons, you would, but otherwise, I don't think so.
I would have to use the first weapon to do it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then let's do that. I'll get a little bit closer to the other one over here.
Okay.
and then I will light some arrows on fire.
Okay, so you're able to like take 5 of them, right, and plunge them into like this vial of oil. That's your action. You like plunge these arrows and you take them out and you like, and they're all like burning, right? And you like lay them on a stone like next to you and pull the first one up. So now you'll have a couple of flaming arrows for next round. Poe, you're up.
You dudes are like totally harshing my calm. So I cast blindness on the 2 closest to us at a 3rd level. So I can do both of them.
Excellent. 3rd level spell slot. 2 of them. Wisdom saving throw. No, Constitution saving throw. What's your spell DC?
16.
12 and 19. So the top one is blind. The bottom one is not.
Does that remove the advantage because he's no longer?
Yeah,
okay,
he's got
cool.
disadvantage, in other words, like, so it would take away his advantage.
I am then going to just strafe to here. And so that neither
Just
of
as
them
a
can get up.
point, I'm sorry, to make sure, like, I'm being clear with you, the bottom guy would still get advantage.
Yeah,
but
I know.
guy
This
would.
guy won't.
Okay.
I just was strafing to here so that I could get. Well, I guess I already got advantage on him because of that. But anyway, so I am then going to fire. Oh wait, that's not fire. Sure. I guess then I'm going to inflict wounds on the top one again.
Okay, roll.
With double advantage. Okay.
Double advantage.
Quadruple advantage!
Critical hit.
Yes.
Oh, nice. See, triple advantage.
Triple advantage.
Roll damage. That is triple advantage, by the way.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
50.
Look what just happened. The priest
Holy
did 51
shit.
points of damage with the 1st level spell. So, with that, it does not matter that you cannot light him on fire because Phobos literally draws every last drop of this creature's life essence from within it. As you watch it like desiccate, you grab it and you feel your fingers like bear down into the wood as it shatters underneath you. And the thing just like desiccates and fucking breaks down into like dust in the wind as you like
Squished
squeeze
it like a
out.
rotten tomato.
And it like just falls apart and blows apart in the breeze in front of you, Tone. That was nice. That was a sick roll.
No
That's
one
Poe's
harshes
turn.
My buzz.
Sarah goes. She's like all fucked up. She takes a step to here and she proceeds to God, she doesn't have good fire either. It's such a pain in the ass being a priest, isn't it?
Sacred flame is radiant, apparently.
She casts this on herself as a bonus action, and she proceeds to like step up to here and make an attack roll. God, she doesn't have great weapons either, which is such a bitch.
Whip that wood.
24.
Whip 1d plus 1d8. Hey, yeah, awesome.
Killing it.
Awesome. She's wrecking shop. So she like steps in with this whip and is like crack, like slaps down onto it for 6 points of damage. Yay, great, really impressive. It goes it's gonna take a swing at her and a swing at you for Edgar first. And then for her, look at that with the 25s.
I don't know what you. Oh, we can't see it. So what did you roll?
Oh, I'm sorry. I accidentally whispered it. I rolled 25. I hit you with the 25. And then for her, I rolled 25, 29. You take 10 points of damage. She takes 15. That's its turn. Ryeth, you're up.
Oh, jeez. So we talked about this. I don't know where we ended up. If I use lightning lure to attack it and pull it out of their attack space, do they get attacks of opportunity or no?
Yeah, by the book, like RAW rules is written no, but in my game, fuck yes.
Then fucking lightning lure it up.
Yeah, okay. Lightning lure it is. It makes a strength saving throw, and it fails.
Fail.
You guys get to make attacks of opportunity against it. Takes 6 points of damage. She snaps it with the whip. You slash at it with Razor Fist. 16 hits. You can roll damage. 17 hits. For 3 and 6. That's another 9. Plus what was on your lightning lure is 6, 15, 19. Okay, cool. And you pull it 10 feet towards you. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. That's Ryeth. Thunderbuck. Tone, you're up.
Tone is determined to show how good of a survivalist he is. So he's going to approach the little wooden man. I'm going to copy off my good friend Shael, take out a tinderbox, and see if I can light this sucker up.
Okay, roll a survival check. This one's alive, so it's a little bit harder.
11!
It was already cut down. You're like, cheek, like throwing sparks at it, and it's like lifting its shield, weaving around, like swinging at you, and you just can't seem to get it to catch for whatever reason. It's a real annoying thing. That's your action. You have a bonus action.
Okay, fine. I'll chop at it.
Not flanking 12 does not hit it, knocks it away with his shield. Because he's a dick like that. Sorry, I jumped past you. Shael, you're up.
Oh, that's fine. Shell's just gonna start like pulling out some fruits or something and just like sticking them on sticks and roasting it over the roasting tree.
Oh my god. Okay, he starts cooking on the burning wood. Thinnea, you're up.
Ryeth and I are the only two people that have been a part of this whole battle.
Yes, it's
And
true.
aren't
It's
like
mortal.
crazy, you know?
Whose fault is that?
Even though I don't know what Ryeth is doing because he's still.
Yeah, Ryan
invisible,
tried to
right?
run away and then he ran into a wood woad.
I didn't try to run away. I tried to find where they're coming from. You ran away. You literally ran away.
Oh yeah, I'm not denying that.
I'm gonna try to hide with my flaming arrows. It's gonna go well.
Oh yeah. Okay. You try to hide. You're like clutching the flaming arrows. There's smoke coming up from behind the bush. You know what I mean? But okay.
All right, I'll try to hit it.
23 hits. So roll
Great.
damage. Plus sneak attack. Plus throw an extra D4 on there for fire.
Okay.
49, 58, plus 3, 61. All right. It's burning and fucked up, and it's still, like, standing, but doesn't look like it's standing that well anymore. That's Thinnea's turn. That was pretty effective, and that brings us to Poe, the tree killer.
Yeah. I am dying. Welcome
to Chimerian's Camp.
What do I do? I will move to here, and I will cast Sacred Flame on this guy.
Okay.
Because I'm out of anything else that I can possibly do.
That'll happen.
DC
After a night of
save.
ass kicking. Deck save. Come on, buddy. Come on. Yeah. You got it.
Ooh, that's a fast little tree.
Yeah, he's just like, he ducks down low. The Sacred Flame is not able to get a piece of him. That's your action. You have movement bonus action. Anything else?
I want to drop a spiritual weapon next to this motherfucker. Right here. And something that slashes
Sounds like
would be
Davos
nice.
took over.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, for real. You pull the axe again. The spiritual axe appears to cut this guy down. You hit, roll damage. 12 points of force damage. It drops. The axe is the blue
there we
axe of
go.
force. And it is that like resounding, delightful sound of wood splitting. And you see it like crack, and it's burning from Thinnea's arrow, which because it took fire damage this round, it does not regenerate, and it drops.
I'm gonna blow my arrows out.
And so I think with that, as Thinnea blows the arrows out, she's like, Sarah like takes a step back and looks at the two of you, and then she turns and looks at Shael, who's like old man with this stick, who's got like a potato on the end of the stick. He's roasting out of the fire, and then she turns and looks you square in the eyes, Ryeth, Thunderbuck, and is like, "We're gonna need to have a real conversation about our tactical operations if we're staying together through the rest of this." And I think with that, the scene fades, and we cut to black, and that's the end of the episode.
The iris closes on her head.
Precisely. That was really fun, you guys. That was
Yeah.
That
We're
was
alive.
crazy.
Yeah, I really thought we were dead. Like when I went to Castian Viz, I was like, yeah, I'm living. I'm making it through.
well done. That was really fun. That's a good place for us to stop. Those are two nice pieces of combat, and we will pick up next week with you guys battered and afraid in the woods, or 2 weeks from today, I should say.
Yeah, exactly. We'll be back in 2 weeks. You'll see this rebroadcast on the Nerdrotic channel over on YouTube on Saturday. And you'll see we'll have some reruns of this in case you missed the beginning or whatever. It'll be in the video section. We'll have some reruns throughout the week here on twitch.tv/TPK_games. I know you want to bring up the artists that we used. All that stuff will be in the show notes. So shout out to all the artists. My Roll20 is actually glitching out and the screen has turned black. So I can't really use that to display them. But Rich, if you want to shout them out and we can put them in the show notes.
Yeah, I do. Let's go around through our people first, I guess, and say our goodbyes while I bring that up real quick. My bad.
Yeah. So, Mike, that was awesome. How'd you like episode 2 here?
I mean, I had a great time making friends with some crows and trying to stay promptly out of as much action as possible. So I had a good time. It was a fun little venture. I'm happy that Chimerian's Gambit has already provided so many wild cards, and we shall see what the future provides.
And where can people follow you on Twitter?
You can follow me at a Mike Bloom type. I do a butt ton of podcasts and exit interviews and what have you. So I put everything out through there. It would take too long to plug everything now, especially this late at night. So be sure to check it out there.
And then Alan, where can everyone find you on Twitch and Twitter?
Twitch and Twitter both are CPT_EMO, Captain Emo. Not .com. What the fuck?
Awesome. And
go find Captain Emo.
How about you?
I'm on Twitter at Taryn. It's TARYN plays D&D, and I just post D&D things.
Awesome.
You're among my favorite accounts.
Me too. And Alex, how about where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Donsky Kong. That's DONSKYKONG.
And I am at John Reed 16. That's JONREED16. You can follow us at TPK_games on Twitter. And, if you're watching us on Nerdrotic, we're at Nerdrotics. All that stuff is more for the nerd news and on TV shows and movies. Black Panther coming out this weekend. We'll be covering it on Friday, I believe. Stuff. And how about you, Rich?
So
you want to say
I'm Rich Filiberto. I'm Rfilly on Twitter, Warfrat1625 if you want to find me. And the artists we use this week, a lot of the same guys as last week for all of our Wonder NPCs. We have Alisher Mirozev, Antonio DeLuca, David Benzel, Dongjin Liu, Faraz Shanyar. Some of his stuff was there this week. Igor Sid, Jingling Zhu, Raphael Lubka, and Tianhua Zhu. And there'll be links to all of their ArtStation profiles in the show notes. And they're really cool artists. Go check them out. Give them a follow over there and thank them for letting us use their stuff so generously.
You'll be able to find all of this information in the show notes. I just know that not many people go and use the show notes. So hopefully you guys do, because there's a lot of good information there. Everyone, see you next week.
Bye.